from the Quantum Fiber studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
The streets are talking. The streets are talking, Bump. And it sounds like the Seahawks are a pretty good team. We've already had callers call in and tell us whether or not they think the Seahawks are a Super Bowl. And that's one thing for like us in Seattle, right, to have a conversation after a big Sunday night win and say, well, how far could the Seahawks go? It's another thing when the Seahawks not only win in primetime in dominant fashion over the Washington Commanders, but then make a really exciting addition, a true wide receiver too, a really speedy downfield threat at the deadline to bolster one of the league's best and most explosive passing offenses. And suddenly, a lot of people are talking about the Seahawks. Here's Jeff Saturday on ESPN Radio.
Sam Darnold is lighting it up. I know he throws a bad pick or whatever, but this kid is on fire. And he's got this Seahawks team rolling. This ain't throwing the ball short. This is aggressive quarterback play, putting the ball in the right play. JSN, now you're adding Shaheed. You got a good base tight end. The offensive line, they're not great in the run game. They've been excellent in pass protection, which is giving him, and he is dialing it up, man.
They're not a mirage, Jeff Saturday says. This is not 1 or 2 games into the season, and you're going, yeah, the Seahawks look pretty solid. Bump, it is week 10. You are 8 games into the season, or week 9 is just wrapped. You're 8 games into the season, and you are a top 5 passing offense. That's in terms of total yards. When you break it down by pass play, because you pass less than anyone besides like Baltimore and Philly, you actually are the most productive team by pass attempt. So my question for you, it's less about specifically the pass offense. Are the Seahawks the best team in the NFC? Are the Seahawks the best team in the NFC? NFC West or the NFC?
I don't think they're the best team in the NFC. I think you still have Philly up there. They got that pedigree. They got that resume. They have some things they got to figure out, too. I think the Rams are probably still above them until we see them play against those guys. But I think after that, they are in the mix for sure. I think they've proven it so far up to this point that defensively they could be one of the best defenses in the game. Offensively, their pass game is so efficient, one of the best, if not the most efficient pass game in football. And the run game is doing just enough to keep people honest. So, no, I look at Philly and I look at the Rams, and thankfully we get to see the Rams in a couple of weeks. Still got to go through the Arizona Cardinals, but they are trending, and everyone else is starting to kind of recognize it. That's why I said on Sunday that was going to be a signature game. Mm-hmm. That was going to be the game that was the only game being played on television. The nation is watching, no matter who you're playing. Even if it is a beat-up Commanders team, if you go out there and you just stomp them like you did, people are going to pay attention, and it's the way you did it. It's the first drive coming out, 12 plays, 90 yards, scoring a touchdown. It's the explosive plays to JSN. Hello, world. This is JSN, the best receiver in the game right now. It's getting your tight ends involved. Hey, we got 2 rookies over here that are scoring too. You got Arroyo who scored. You have Horton who scored. And then defensively, welcome back, Spoon. He's causing chaos. Nicky Mawari is in there as well. So, no, this is Sunday was big because people got to see the potential of this team. Yes, it was against the Commanders. And, now it's about keeping things rolling. You make a great addition in Shaheed. I'm excited to talk about him later. And, they're getting some love.
Why aren't the Seahawks better than the Rams? And, look, I'll say this. If they're not better than the Rams, then they're second to the Rams because the Rams are also excellent. Matthew Stafford is leading the league in touchdowns with 21. But Eric Edholm of NFL Network, number 1 and number 2 spots in his power rankings has the Seahawks and Rams. Seahawks, not number 2. They're number 1.
Yeah, power rankings are funny. It's not – I don't think they're saying they're the best in the team. They're saying they had the best week. Because you look at – I think that the Chiefs are above the Colts in some power rankings. You look at the Colts season, right? They're 7-2. Have a better record than the Chiefs. But it's a reaction to the weekend and what you saw to that weekend. So, no, I can see them being number 1 through 3 because they beat down the Commanders 38-14 and did it in an efficient way. I think that was key. So, I'll take number 1, but I still think
okay, what's keeping you from believing then? Just genuinely. Let's have a debate
I believe
here.
they're a very good football team. I need to see them beat the Rams.
Okay.
You got to beat the Rams. You got one of the best teams in your division right now. Like, you've taken down teams that you're supposed to beat, and you did it in an impressive fashion. And they're a playoff team for sure. But I want to see you beat a big boy, and you haven't done that yet.
Why is the onus on the Rams, or excuse me, on the Seahawks? The Rams haven't beaten the Seahawks. They haven't faced each other. They won't until November 16th.
The Rams have done it. The Rams have a Super Bowl. The Rams have Matthew Stafford. The Rams have Sean McVay. The Rams have Devontae Adams. The Rams have one of the best defensive lines.
No doubt.
The Rams went to the playoffs last year. Hawks didn't go to the playoffs last year.
Yep.
The Rams have done it. So I want to see the Rams will now enter the realm of those teams that get the benefit of the doubt because they've shown for 5-6 years they are contenders. The Seahawks are like, yeah, they're contenders, but they're still on the up and up. They haven't won enough for me to say they are the best team in the conference. Top 3, I'll give them that. Yeah. But best in the conference? No, I want to see them beat the Rams.
I think I might, like, my gut actually believes in what you're saying, but just for the purposes of debate, because there's one to be had, Seahawks defensive line's better than the Rams. They're getting more pressures. Now, the Rams have 2 players who individually have more pressures than any Seahawks player, but the Seahawks are top 5 in total pressure percentage, sacks, doing it while blitzing less often than the Rams do. Their front 4 right now is better than the Rams. The Seahawks don't have as many passing yards as the Rams per game. The Rams only have 3 more passing yards per game. 3, single digit, more passing yards per game than Seattle. And Seattle actually passes the ball fewer than all but 2 teams. So per pass play, the Seahawks are more explosive than the Rams. Neither team is running the ball. I know that the Rams just put up, I think, 170 plus against the New Orleans Saints. The Rams' run game is pretty much where the Seahawks are. They might try to run the ball, but they're not doing so especially effectively. They're basically carbon copies of each other in terms of their strengths and weaknesses offensively.
Well, the Rams have just as many sacks as the Seahawks.
Darnold's been sacked less than Stafford.
The Rams have 11 less pressures than the Seahawks. The Rams blitz 3% more than the Seahawks. They're on paper, they're an evenly matched team. But here's the thing with numbers, man. Like you can look at numbers, and there's always going to be argument if you put numbers into the situation, right? Numbers don't account for Matthew Stafford's 1,000 years in this league. It doesn't account for Sean McVay being in so many battles and influences NFL and showing that he can be clutch. It doesn't account for Devontae Adams' year 9-10 still being probably the best red zone threat in the game. Like there are humans that play the game that in situations those stats ain't gonna mean nothing. 3rd and 3, can you get it done with all this pressure going on? So that's just what I'm waiting to see. I'm waiting to see the humans square up and get after each other because there's emotions, there's momentum, there's ups and downs, there are mistakes that are made. On paper, there's definitely an argument, and I don't knock anyone who says the Seahawks are the best team in the NFC. There's an argument for it, for sure. And I would applaud them, and I say I respectfully disagree with you. I think there are a couple teams I got to go through, but I ain't mad at you for thinking that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Normally I'm pretty, not negative, but I don't know, like having been a reporter, you just are used to being a little more critical and negative, I guess, like to picking apart, because you're used to looking for questions naturally, and you're used to trying to figure out, well, would they win or not? So you're trying to look, it's just the natural way to look at things, right? So I'm shocked that I'm finding myself making more and more cases for the Seahawks to be number 1 because it's not how I entered the season. Not only is it not how I entered the season, I thought that they should be a playoff team. That should be their bar. I did not think that they'd be arguably the best passing offense in football, or certainly one of the best passing offenses in football. But I don't know. I mean, what they're doing is really, really working. Sam Darnold is tied for the fewest sacks of any of the top 10 players who are leading the league in passing yards. That's not because the Seahawks offensive line is a top 10 offensive line. It's because the Seahawks have so many carries. So you can critique the run game fairly, but it's helping them. It's helping with play action. It's helping get heavy boxes and stack boxes to where they can find those opportunities for JSN. Oh, and by the way, they just added one of the fastest ball carriers in football.
Awesome.
And if you want to point to the Rams, General you, and say, oh, the Rams have better talent. Well, the Rams have exactly the same thing Seattle does, which is that after their top guy, there's not much of anything. Puka Nacua was 711 yards. Devontae Adams with 491. No one else has over 200. Same thing in Seattle. Jackson Smith and Jigba blowing everyone else out of the water, league-wide, but also certainly on Seattle. But okay, they just added to that group now. I don't know, man. I think they're better than LA right now, and I can't believe I'm saying it because it's not how I entered the season. But in terms of per pass play, they are more productive and more explosive and more efficient. They do not have as many passing yards. They do not have as many passing yards per game. They do not have as many passing touchdowns. Matthew Stafford has put up better passing numbers in similar games. For instance, more passing yards against the Texans than Sam Darnold, even though the Seahawks scored more against the Texans. But per play, this is a better passing offense.
Here's the great thing about this. They get to prove it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And it's almost like when I'm looking at my son, he's growing, he's developing, and I'm watching him grow, and I see it. I'm like, man, this kid is getting really good. He's getting really good. All right, in a week, you're playing against the number one team in the nation. Can you take your game to that number one team in the nation? I think you can, but now you got to prove it to yourself that you can do it. There's a mental thing that goes on there. That's why I love this argument, because we can talk about DVOA, we can talk about red zone, third downs, and all that good stuff. The great thing about this, they get to square up in 2 weeks. So I'm excited for that, man. It's like there's stepping stones, right? Power rankings, like what are power rankings? People sitting around and saying, hey, man, you see that game against the Commanders? You know what? These guys were 9th in my power ranking. They're going up to 1. Cool, respect. And you can't ignore what these guys did to the Commanders. But when it's talk about being the best, you got to beat the best. I think they have the talent to beat the Rams. I really think they do. But you have to be good on that day. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I give them top 3 team in the NFC. If they beat the Rams, I'll move them up to 2. Depending on what Philly looks like, maybe 1.
Let's take a listen to some more sound here and figure out how Rashid Shaheed is going to help their case. Dan Orlovsky on NFL Live.
I love this.
Yeah.
I think this is going to become the best play-action pass offense in the NFL. You can take the deep shot with 2 players now, and 3 if Horton continues to step forward. The intermediate pass game is going to be absolutely off the charts. You're going to have gashes from 10 to 25 yards down the field that you can absolutely eat up. Those tight ends are going to become even more productive and impactful than they have been. So I think in the AFC, the playoff race is going to come down to, can you get the quarterback on the ground, because we all know who they are. And the NFC, you got a firepower. It's about scoring and outscoring certain teams. I think this allows Seattle to do just that.
So, again, I think the Seahawks are going to become the best play-action pass offense in the NFL with the Shaheed addition. Mina Kimes echoing him, saying it can really help the run game as well. Her take was that the Seahawks, with heavy personnel facing stack boxes, that maybe teams try to respond to more of like 11 personnel looks. And then the opposite opinion would be that, well, even having Shaheed isn't going to change fundamentally. They're not going to become an 11 personnel team magically. But her take was that maybe it opens up some opportunities for the run.
Yeah, it could. I mean, the more threats you have on the outside, right, the more people are going to pay attention to it for sure. Here, play action wise, it's crazy, right? According to Football Reference, the Seahawks have attempted 57 play actions. That's 17th in the game. Yet they have 717 yards off the play action, 2nd in the game. Efficient as heck. 220 total pass attempts, that's 30th. Yet they're 9th when it comes to pass yards. That's just how efficient they are. Those are some stats that people can use to say, well, I think they're better than the Rams. I think they're a better play action team than the Rams, for sure. I don't think they're a better run. I think the Rams are only averaging like maybe 10 to 15 more yards than them on the ground. So there's that. Nah, man, this is I'm always cautious to not jump on the bandwagon, but just to
ride a hype train.
Just to elevate teams so quickly.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know in this game, there's something to be said about a roster that has been through it. Now, the Hawks are going through it. I think Mike Macdonald is a hell of a coach and has this defense ready to go. That was probably the most impressed I've been all year with just the integrity of that defense, right? After yesterday or the day before, I watched like just an hour and a half of just straight defense. I started with offense and went over to defense. And the defense is what made me elevate this team from like maybe the 4th best team to like the 2nd or 3rd best team because of the way this defense is playing. Like we know what the offense is, and they've been efficient pretty much all year minus maybe one game. The defense is what has me ready to jump on the wagon once it started rolling the game.
Yeah.
But it's just I like to prove it. I want them to go out there and prove it. And maybe that's me, the dad in me, telling my son to stay hungry and, prove to yourself and your team as you can get it done, because the Rams have been through some battles, man. And I think that's the only edge they have on these guys right now, is that they've been through some stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree at all. And honestly, like, for anyone saying, well, Sean McVay's had their number. I've covered every single Rams-Seahawks game. Like, trust me, I've covered god-awful Seahawks losses against this Rams team. I am well aware of their history prior to Sean McVay as well. I think what I'm doing is kind of the opposite. Typically, I enter not into any game, but just like any season, with a level of critique, apprehension, what have you, whatever, just how I approach it. A lot of sports fans are the same. And so I'm kind of challenging myself to go, well, why wouldn't you have them at number one?
Mm-hmm.
And I can't find a lot of great reasons. All I can point to is the Rams' history and Matthew Stafford leading the league in passing touchdowns. And then, like, that I know that Devontae Adams and Puka Nacua are electric and amazing, and that Puka Nacua would probably still be leading the league in receiving yards had he not gotten hurt. Like, all of those things are true. But all I see are two teams with very similar strengths, very similar weaknesses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
So I'm running out of reasons to put the Rams squarely ahead of Seattle, outside of, the Seahawks haven't proven it. But on paper, 2025.
Yeah. You go either way.
They're the same team.
You go either way with this thing, and that's what's going to make this matchup that much more intense. That needs to be a primetime game. They need to do something about this. If the Hogs win this weekend, which I expect them to do, the Rams win. Who do the Rams have this weekend? They have the Niners, which I expect them to do, especially with the Niners being banged up. They got to do something about this game. This needs to be a primetime game.
Well, I don't think they will, because Sunday night Lions-Eagles for Week 11.
Yeah.
Someone else texted the same thing where they said, what are the odds that this gets flexed? I don't think it's going to get flexed for Lions-Eagles.
Nah.
I know that that's a bummer, but that's going to be the game. And Cowboys are playing Monday night in Week 11, so I don't think they'll flex that one either. It doesn't matter if they're playing the Raiders. It's the Cowboys, unfortunately. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, the Huskies came in at number 23 in the first college football poll, while Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama round out the top four. What's the real headline?
We want Indiana.
Give me those Hoosiers.
I love it, man.
Hoosiers.
I love it. Here's what I think, man. Keep expanding this thing. I think it needs one more expansion, because I look at teams like I think a team like maybe Louisville. Like, no one knows about Chris Bell over there, who's a receiver, reminds me of Debo. No one knows about Isaac Brown over there, who's probably a top 5 running back in the country. They can maybe take down one of these big dogs if they're slipping. That's what the one game does to you. A team like Georgia Tech with Haynes over there has like 600 or 700 yards rushing as a quarterback. There's some sneaky teams that are like outside looking in that I think. And in Miami, Miami, yes, they got 2 losses, one to Louisville, the team I just described. They could be up there and knock out one of these big dogs. So, no, I think they got it right so far, though. I have no complaints with this list. I'm happy to see Indiana at the top. We knew Ohio State was going to be there. Bama's turned things around. Texas A&M is doing a great job. One more expansion, though. We're at 12 teams right now. I think you get it to 16, and it gets even more interesting.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Cardinals have named Jacoby Brissett their starting quarterback. That's who the Seahawks play on Sunday. What's the real headline?
This is bad news for the Seahawks.
Backup quarterbacks, man. Colt McCoy come in here, did his thing. The Rams had a backup quarterback, did his thing. I feel like Colt McCoy did it twice.
Yeah, with the Giants and Cardinals.
Yeah.
But then they beat a Colt McCoy Eagles team, right? In the playoffs, or am I misremembering?
No, that was McCown.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're the same person when you think about it. Josh, Colt, roughly the same person.
I've been watching film on Brissett, and he looks good. He looks good under center. The play action works. Him and Marvin Harrison looks like they have a good connection. The comeback and the curls look good. Marvin Harrison, the deep threat, so he forces DBs to flip his hips. And Jacoby has a good arm. He's had some big games, right? He had the 300-yard, 3-touchdown game against the Buffalo Bills in 2022, 3 300-yard games in 20. So far, 6 touchdowns, 1 interception in 2025. He's a solid quarterback. There's something that he's doing that Kyler isn't, and it's simply just running the offense with efficiency.
How much of what we saw between the Cardinals and Cowboys on Monday night was just a very bad Cowboys defense, and how much of it should actually concern the Seahawks? I know that my headline was kind of tongue-in-cheek, but...
Yeah, it's a bad defense. Dallas isn't very good, especially on the defensive line, but they have gotten better there. I don't think it's going to change their year getting Quinnen Williams. You got Wilson at that linebacker spot, too. They made some moves, but... yeah, they're just not very good defensively.
Yeah, I will say, heading into this one, and you've already talked about the Cardinals, that their games have all been, like one score. Outside of this one, which is a 10-point win, 27-17, but otherwise, 3-point losses, 1-point losses, 3-point losses, 1 point. They have 2 1-point losses, which is devastating.
Yeah.
This is a team that can absolutely fight back into it. Losing to the Titans is pretty sad. I sure hope that doesn't happen for Seattle. That's a pretty inexcusable loss. But even then, it was 22-21 for Arizona. So I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't say I'm nervous. I would say that this is, with the Rams coming up and with us opening the show with 15 minutes talking about the Rams, definitely don't look past Week 10.
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, Bears tight end Colston Loveland, a.k.a. not Sam Darnold, was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. What's the real headline?
Looks like we've got another case of voter fraud on our hands. Who voted for this? Who voted twice for Colston? I want names. I want numbers. I need answers.
Yeah, 118 for 2 touchdowns. The worst part about this is I dropped Colston because I forgot what I need to pick up. But
I don't know why you did that.
I dropped him because he wasn't doing nothing before this.
The Bengals have allowed the most touchdowns to tight ends.
So what? I didn't believe him. I needed something else. I forgot why I dropped him. I needed like a running back or something like that. Someone was out. But Colston, way to have a great game when I dropped you. First 2 touchdowns of his career. Anyway, he played a good game. He had a long reception of 58 yards at the end of that thing. And the Chicago Bears, man, an interesting team. It's 5-3, second in the NFC North, trying to make a push for the playoffs. They might be trying to figure something out over in Chicago.
Would they be at the top of the list of like teams that didn't make the playoffs? And in the NFC, so like Indy would be like an obvious answer for AFC. But in the NFC, teams that didn't make the playoffs that you're most curious about now?
Teams that didn't make the playoffs.
So like Panthers, Bears. There's
Panthers
a couple
are
teams in
sneaking
there.
up, but I think to start the season,
Cardinals
I said I was going to keep my
one.
eyes on the Bears, man. So yeah, I'm feeling what they're doing over there.
Okay, between Cardinals, Bears, Panthers.
Bears.
Yeah. That's safe. Right answer. Bump's been watching a lot of film on Rashid Shaheed. He's got a breakdown coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the comfort people at homecomfortalliance.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit Bucky's.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
A blown left headlight is making Erica's drive to her son's soccer game darker and darker. So she goes to AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
Where a friendly AutoZoner finds her 2 new bulbs.
These lights have the most clarity.
And helps her get back on the road so she can brighten her drive and the cheering section.
All right, all right.
See clearer and drive safer with new lights. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's Refractive Lens Exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters. $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems. And $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini-splits. Plus, free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Have you considered surgery or even joint replacement? Hey, it's Dave Wyman, and before you make that decision, see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Why? Because he gives it to you straight. Dr. Wagner said my right knee needs replacement, and I appreciate his honesty and expertise. My left knee is fine right now, but the minute it isn't, I'm heading to Dr. Wagner for his expert opinion. I want to avoid another surgery, and I've heard so many patients rave about results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner. He's a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience and has performed more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. People with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back doing what they enjoy without pain and without surgery. Whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before choosing surgery, see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in the 11 a.m. hour, a prominent baseball voice says the Mariners have interest in trading for a superstar. Plus, previewing Washington's weekend with George Wrighster. Before we get to it, though, Get Off My Lawn coming up at 10:45. Can't wait for that one. Something tells me there's something new from Airport Visits by Michael Bumpus. And in the meantime, Bump, perhaps on flights or not, you've been watching a lot of film, specifically on Rashid Shaheed, the newest Seattle Seahawk. So what should we know?
Yeah, man, it's took a deep dive into really understand who this player is. I think we all have an idea. When you think of Rashid Shaheed, what comes to mind?
Running a go route as fast as possible.
Running fast. And, yeah, that's exactly right. But there's something that he doesn't get enough credit for. I think he's a better route runner than people know. When you think of Rashid, you think of the go route, the post, the wheel, or whatnot, which is great. He's going to do a great job of that. The backside post, when Sam's rolling to the right, influencing the defensive flow right, he can be on that backside getting things done. He also understands this offense, obviously, like you mentioned yesterday. He's has played in this Kubiak offense before, so he can literally just come in and run it, depending on how much he's forgotten dealing with Kellen Moore. But, no, I think people need to realize that he is a better route runner than you might think. He does a good job pushing defenders with his speed and breaking it down on these curls, these comebacks, and these digs. Also, because he's that fast, because he has that threat, he is the double move master, right? Because teams are going to, our DBs are going to get into that back pedal and give him that space, man. He's going to break down and does a great job of breaking down, right? Snapping his hips forward, looking back at the quarterback or looking over his shoulder, and then snapping it upfield. I haven't seen too many double moves in this offense yet so far. I believe A.J. Barnett kind of had a double move on his first touchdown, a little hezzy. Then he expands towards the sideline for a catch. But he is going to open up this offense in a different way. I think that Horton being around Rashid and JSN is just going to help his development. And Cooper Kupp. Like, can we not forget about Cooper Kupp too, right? That is the perfect mix of football players to help bring a young receiver on. You got Cooper Kupp, who is the master technician. Not extremely fast. I'm not slow, but I'm going to technique the heck out of you. You have JSN, who is the smooth operator, who's adding some violence to his route running now, which I really like. Fast enough to get by you, but is going to move you out your spot. And then you have Rashid, who is just the guy who's twitchy and who's going to run by you. With all those guys being in the same room, Horton has no choice but to grow as a receiver. But Rashid, he is extremely fast, good hands. It's almost weird because when I watch the film on him and I see him at number 22, it makes you feel like he's a running back. Like, man, that running back out there is getting him. But no, he is a receiver. If you get past the number, you can see that he can do everything you're asking him to do, and he's a decent blocker as well.
What does he give you that you didn't have before?
This offense? He gives you just that home run. And it's funny saying that because we've seen JSN with 61-yard receptions. But this is I'm going to get by you, and I'm going to keep running, and I can take this thing 70 yards to the house. That's something that we had with DK Metcalf, right? DK is going to drop some footballs. He is going to not be extremely consistent when it comes to catching the rock, but we knew when he had the football in his hand, he can turn that thing up and go. And that's what he brings to the table. It's just he's a guy you give a screen, and he's gone. He can ghost you. So, yeah, get up top.
Perhaps because of that speed, what does he let you do as an offense, as a coordinator that you couldn't before?
I don't want to say couldn't, he just enhances it.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
enhances it. He gets the underneath routes open even more. So when, say, he's running a post and you have a dig underneath, those safeties have to stay on top because of the threat. The space between the second and third level expands more because he's putting pressure on the top of the defense, allowing your tight ends, JSN, Horton, even your running backs underneath to operate with more space. He stretches the field. I mean, he is the perfect example. He might be the fastest wide receiver in the game right now. And I was watching the film, and he took like 3 strides to a DB's like 5 once. And you see that, you can't teach that. You can't coach that. That is pure DNA, genetics. Thank your ancestors and whatever they did to get your chromosomes to form that way and get you to run like that. He opens up the middle of the field because he stretches the safeties.
Mina talked about how you could help the run game. You think he did? Or will, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think whatever you do at a high clip automatically helps the other phase of the football. So if you are able to be efficient in the pass game, what does that mean? Maybe you're going to stay in too high safety looks. You're not going to bring that one safety down in the box to help with the run. You're concerned about the potential that he brings when it comes to that. So yeah, he definitely helps. And he helps in the blocking game too. He's not a bad blocker at all.
This is a dumb question because obviously facing stacked boxes is going to impact your run game. But we keep hearing over and over and over, the Seahawks run out heavy personnel. Sam Darnold's facing more stacked boxes than any quarterback in football right now. Does lightening that, opposing offenses, going with more nickel, dime, whatever, does that help the run, or is there something else at play? I guess what I'm saying is it just the way defenses are playing them because they're heavy personnel, they're putting guys out there, Or is there something else at play with the run that they still need to figure out?
I think it's the way they're playing them, right? When you come out in 11, 12, even 22 type personnel, you're condensing the formations, you're bringing bodies to the party, and it's a numbers game. It's essentially all it is. Execution-wise, I think I've said this before, to me, the guy that's been causing the most drama or problems with the run game is the unblocked safety or linebacker away from the play side. It's impossible to block everybody, right? It's numbers game. It just is what it is, especially when they bring a guy in the box. So how do you combat that? You just have to be so much more efficient on the play side. And then, easier said than done, these running backs got to fill that cutback. There are a couple of times we're watching the game, obviously, with Moyer and B. Walt and Big Ray. And me and Moyer kind of got into it because he's like, you got to cut back right there. And I said, well, you got to give the play design a chance, right? I understand the cutback. Obviously, he coached at Bellevue where they do all that crissity-crossity, wing tee, pulling type stuff. But running backs are taught your first 2 to 3 steps have to be where your blocks are, where the play is designed to go. Then you look for that cutback. So I don't know if it's film study. I don't know if it's coaches making these guys aware of it. I don't know what it is. But for some reason, that backside unblocked safety or linebacker is flowing. He's flowing tough, and he's getting to the running back. But that's also why play action has been working too, because that backside is flowing, because that backside end is crashing down, because they respect the run that much. They know the potential of that run game. Oh, it's just humans making plays, man. You got to make a guy miss, and that's the running back's job.
How were not more people talking about Rashid? Like, how is it that like Chris Olave was getting so much of the attention and Rashid wasn't? He's 499 yards, which is what, 30-ish behind Chris Olave. It's not like this is a guy that was hidden.
Well, I think Olave is the receiver's receiver.
Yeah.
You know, his hands are better. He's a better route runner. Not as fast, but brings a bit more to the table as far as how many tools he has in his toolbox. Rashid is good at what he does. He's not the guy that is going to man you up one-on-one, take you 5 yards, run the slant, whip back out. He can do it, but it's not going to look as efficient as an Olave or Garrett Wilson or something of that nature. Just a different type of ball player.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, Rashid Shaheed wasn't. Wide receiver was on my list of like really intriguing ads, but it was not Rashid Shaheed in particular. Yeah. Props to anyone else who was looking at his speed going, hey, this could be really, really fun. He's been a frequent highlight, has an 87-yard reception this year.
My buddy Antoine actually called that. He texted me
before
it went down.
Shaheed?
He called
22. I'm very intrigued to see this offense on Sunday against the Arizona Cardinals. All right, coming up at 11, it's Washington Wednesday with CW college football analyst George Wrighster taking a look at the Huskies, and we'll have a few college football questions sprinkled in there as well. Coming up next, though, Get Off My Lawn.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
After the game, you called it a great win. What made it a great win?
You know, our vision of all three phases playing together, playing complementary football. I love how our guys are preparing, our mentality going into the games. When we took the lead, like the guys weren't satisfied. You know, they wanted to keep stacking scores and plays, and I was just really pleased with our mentality throughout the whole game.
Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
When I was playing ball, November was always such a pivotal time because that's when you truly see whether your team is a contender or a pretender. Many teams enter the month with a chance to win a championship, and what they do these next 4 weeks makes all the difference. Michael Bumpus here, and even though my playing days are over, November can still mean big wins at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. All you have to do is claim your free entry at any promo kiosk. Every Saturday in November at Silver Reef, 2 winners are drawn every hour starting at 6 p.m. to score huge prizes. Someone's winning a Hawaiian vacation, an awesome outdoor grill, or $10,000 cash. So here's what you have to do this weekend. Book a stay at Silver Reef Casino Hotel, watch college football games on Saturday, and stick around to see if you walk away with a big-time prize or cash money. Entry is free. More information at silverreefcasino.com/promotions. Book your stay at Silver Reef Casino Hotel. Drive up I-5, exit 260.
For the first time ever, enjoy 0% interest for 60 months with equal monthly payments, plus 15% off new windows and doors only from Lake Washington Windows. Voted the best in the Northwest for comfort, quality, and savings. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car. And she had questions because she was doubling her spending budget, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. And the best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier. These are major life accomplishments. You have the ability to afford at this tier. You've secured one of the major needs in your life. You should be feeling a tremendous amount of pride and respect for your accomplishments. I'm just grateful that we get to celebrate it with them, that we get to be part of it in that aspect of it.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry and dream engagement ring to be nothing short of perfect, no matter the price. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
As a quarterback, you cannot run a winning play with a messy playbook. And most companies' data, well, it's a mess. AI is changing the game, but if your data is scattered, you're stuck on the sidelines. Brock Heward here, and this is where my friends at Marquee Data come in. They get your data in shape, clean, connected, ready to perform, so you can finally put AI to work for your business. Whether sales, finance, or operations, every smart move starts with the right data. So head to mydataqb.com to draw up your game-winning data play today. That's Marquee Data or mydataqb.com.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Heward here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Ryan Rowland-Smith here. For more than 35 years, the NBA Health Insurance Trust has been helping local builders, contractors, and their employees save money and gain peace of mind. They offer customized group health plans from the state's leading insurance providers. Small and mid-sized businesses deserve big healthcare access. The NBA Health Trust brings you the coverage you want at a price you can trust. Find out more at MBAHealthTrust.com. That's MBAHealthTrust.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Washington Wednesday coming your way in 15. Lots of college football talk. Before we get to it, Bump's got to talk about three things grinding his gears for Get Off My Lawn. Bump, what's driving you crazy this week?
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, first things first. My Dodgers, back-to-back champions.
Oh, yeah, congrats.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was in the
already
Bay
did that.
Area watching this game. I go to the Bay Area every weekend, and I work out there. So no one likes the Dodgers in the Bay, right? It's all about the Giants and the A's. People are still heartbroken over that, but they support those two teams. So I'm at this random place watching the game, and vibes are good. You know, like there's a way to cheer for your team and not just be blatantly disrespectful.
Yeah.
Like half the room is for Dodgers, half the room is for Toronto. And I'm sitting back there, and I'm like in the middle. I got like Toronto on one side, Dodgers on the other side, and it's the game as the game progresses is getting rowdier and it's getting rowdier. And there's this guy sitting like kind of like diagonally behind me, and he's hooting and hollering, he's cheering for Toronto, and there's nothing wrong with that. Toronto makes a play. And, you know me, I'm an analyst. I'm like, man, that was a heck of a play. Like, man, he made that play. And he hears me say something like, oh, that was a heck of a play. And then he starts, that's a play that Toronto made. That was a heck of a play. Who are you going for? I'm like, going for the Dodgers. He was like, you damn right that was a heck of a play. And he starts going, and I go, sir, if you don't back up, what you mean? What you mean? It's all competition. I go, I understand that. But once you start getting like personal in my personal space, then things start to change a little bit. And then everyone around is conducting themselves in the right way. Cheer for your team, go hard, but don't direct anything towards the Seahawks. All I'm saying, if you are at a place you're cheering for a team, okay, cheer hard for your team, but don't get too drunk and start getting personal with people, because that's when things start to happen. Now, granted, I was there by myself, but let's just say I was there with a few of my buddies, right? And it might be a little different. My buddies don't have the calmness that I have. You know what I'm saying? They're a bit more rowdy. And once you start directing things at an individual, things start to change a little bit. So what I did, I removed myself from that situation, and I went to the hotel, and I watched the game with like 5 or 6 people who didn't like the Dodgers, but did it in a classy way. This guy ended up even buying my drinks because there's a way that you compete. Like, someone makes a play, you can go hard. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. None of my energy is towards the Toronto fans.
Yeah, he was getting in your face.
He went in my face, but it was like in my space. You know what I'm saying?
He was saying, who are you cheering for?
Who are you cheering for? My Dodgers. Yeah, they going down. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know you. I don't know you. If you're my boy, now we can go back and forth and talk a little crap. I don't know you, and you're drunk. So back up. So I'm just saying, there's a way to go hard for your team and support them and be passionate about it, but just keep it somewhat classy.
I'm going to be so 100% for real right now and say also there are certain fan bases where you just don't know what kind of waters you're wading into. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could be from LA, but where in LA are you from?
Saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there are just certain fan bases, like, I'm going to be 100%. I don't care if they're in Vegas. I'm not getting in the face of a Raiders fan.
Don't do it.
That's simply not for me. I'm not built like that. Mets fans, Eagles fans, 76ers, Phillies, doesn't matter. If you are rooting for a team from Philly, privately, I'm rooting against you. I'm simply not going to get in your face. I don't know where in Philly you're from.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
Just be respectful.
I'm just saying there are certain fan bases that I would advise people root carefully around. Because you're like, well, I don't know.
Dodgers fans are one of them, man.
That's what I'm saying.
You're lucky you caught a professional that day.
You caught a professional Dodgers
It might have been
fan.
different for you in some other years too, but yeah.
What's next?
All right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
All right, here's the travel one. All right, so if you travel Alaska, like sometimes you board with your boarding pass, and then you have to walk down the ramp to the outdoor terminal or whatever, your gate, right? Your gate's outdoors. So you got to walk, boarding pass, you walk down this ramp, and then you head to your gate, and then you got to show your boarding pass again. Here's the etiquette with that. You don't pass the person who checked in before you, right? So if Sally's in front of me and she scans her boarding pass and she starts walking down the ramp, I'm not going to pass her. I'm like, this is just the order, right?
Weird.
You were first in line. Let's do it. So I'm walking down, and this dude is just passing by everybody. And he's like Group C. And he's passing everybody. I'm like, what is this guy doing, right? And it's just the etiquette of it. Unless like there's a person who's a bit slower, like an older person or something. Even if there's an older person, I still just take my time and say there's no rush. We've already checked in. We're good to go. This person checked in before me. They're going to be able to board before me. It's just the way it goes. But there's some guy like squeezing through people, bumping people, and then he gets up there and he has these 2 big bags. He puts it in first class. He's going all the way to the back. He just messed up the whole process. You know me, when it comes to traveling, I'm all about process. Keep the process clean, and we just get out of this thing together, okay? You got to be courteous. So if you're walking down the ramp, do not pass anybody. Take your time. We're all getting on. Don't be rude. That guy was ridiculous.
I already know that when someone puts their bags in first class, you look at them immediately to see if they're in first class.
Yes. Yes. Why's your bag there? You're back there. All right?
You're back with steerage, sir.
Even if I don't sit first class, I will not put my bag up there.
I've never done that before in my entire life. Sat in first class or put my bags in first class. I just, in general, I'm a rule follower just by nature. I'm like, that's bold. That's brazen.
I saw a guy, man, put a big bag, boom, and walk all the way to the back. Like, what is happening
Did I
here?
send you guys the photo? My friend was on an aeroplane over the weekend, and this guy was walking around barefoot.
Yeah.
He was walking around.
Went to the bathroom
he went to the bathroom barefoot and walked back to his seat barefoot.
I would call the air marshal.
Truly?
Come
Calling the
dude.
cops mid-air.
Come get this dude.
What's last?
All right, last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Who are some of the best quarterbacks in the game this year? Who do you think? Give me like 6 or 7.
Oh, like just names?
6, 7. Yeah.
Mahomes, Stafford.
Or playing like the best.
Oh, playing like the best?
Yeah,
oh,
good
Daniel
numbers.
Jones, Drake May.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I throw Dak in there. He had
Dak Prescott,
a bad last
yes,
game.
Yes,
but
Sam
I throw
Darnold,
Dak in there.
obviously. Mm-hmm.
Listen, I've never won any type of championship in football. Right, all my accolades have been individual type stuff. Never won a championship in football. So maybe I understand where this dude is coming from. But Draymond calling Dak Prescott a bum is one of the worst takes I've ever heard in my life. He called him a bum. Does Dak not win the big games? Nope. He's got, 2 playoff wins, I think? Hasn't won the big game. For some reason, you get into the playoffs, and he folds a bit. But to call him a bum, then he had to retract it. He goes, well, he's a bum because when it's time to win, he just doesn't win that game. I go, no, bums are the guys who don't make it. Bums are the guys who never make plays. Like, those are bums.
You're not a bum if you're in the league.
Dak Prescott is not a bum. Statistically, he is one of the better quarterbacks in the game. Has he won the big game? No. That's the Dallas Cowboys. That's what they do. Maybe he ain't got that clutch gene. But that one really irked me, man. I know what he's doing. He's a hot take type of dude now. He has won 4 championships. He's played with Steph Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, Klay Thompson. He knows what being clutch looks like. But I also want to say that, and I heard someone say this morning, I forgot who it was, and I agreed 100%. In basketball, you have 7 opportunities, max, 7 opportunities. Football is one and done. If you don't show up on that day, you are done. In other sports, you can have a bad day. You know what? Hey, we'll play tomorrow. Don't worry. Game 2 is tomorrow. We'll be okay. But to call, look, I don't think Dak is elite of the elite. I don't think he is clutch. I don't think he will go down as one of the greatest of all time, but he is not a bum. So for Draymond to call Dak a bum, man, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way.
My get off my lawn today is actually going to be you. To get off my lawn and stop putting private conversations on public airwaves because
that was an accident.
Because I said, oh my God, why would you put your bags in first class if you aren't sitting in first class from the 360? Says the lady that used the handicap spot to get her coffee quicker. And listen, first of all, I parked in the handy capable spot so that I could pop inside. It was the only spot I would have had to walk 10 minutes. And I said, I am popping inside for 1 second of real time to grab a pickup order and leave. Is it my fault they didn't have it ready and I had to be there for 10 minutes? No, it's not.
No,
I felt horrible about it the whole time.
It's my fault for putting your business on the streets, man.
Look,
I
and
apologize.
the story itself, which still didn't make it to the air, is what I chose to do. You know what? It's gonna stay off air. I can't bring myself to take it to air.
Don't do it.
Taking a look around college football next.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Stacy Ross here from Seattle Sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of. And then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, prescriptions. But imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate, noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle, yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target problem areas: waistline, face, neck, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. For your free consultation and $250 off, visit ProSculpt.com. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's ProSculpt.com.
When businesses thrive, communities score. That's why Bank of America is the official bank of FIFA World Cup here in Seattle. And our more than 95 local business specialists are ready to help your business win. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
Seattle's rainy season is here. Don't wait to replace your roof. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off your roofing project. Our expert team creates a custom plan for your home, ensuring a smooth, worry-free installation even in the winter months. With material prices low and lead time short, now is the best time to act. Stop throwing money at costly repairs. Protect your home this winter with a new roof from your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing. Visit 3treeroofing.com today to secure your $500 discount. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
This year's ratings of the best TVs just got published, and Samsung, LG, and Sony scored the highest. Also, they warned about the poor performance of the bargain brands promoted at some stores. So where can you get the best deal on the top-rated TVs? At the club? Online? Nope. At Video Only. They've got their better than Black Friday deals on right now. Don't be sorry. Check out Video Only before you buy.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Jorge Polanco's turned down his $8 million mutual option with the Mariners and is now a free agent. That from John Heyman this afternoon. The Kraken face the San Jose Sharks tonight at Climate Pledge Arena. Puck drop at 7 p.m. on Kong and Amazon Prime.
Snapshot. Brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
Washington Wednesdays is powered by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
Washington Wednesdays, presented by Star Rentals, preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
It's time for Washington Wednesday with CW college football analyst George Wrighster on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. George, how's it going?
Man, it's going great. I'm excited for a great weekend of college football.
We cannot wait for this weekend. We have a few things we might want to touch on from last weekend. Obviously, Huskies with a bye, so I'm sure you've got some questions. I'm going to start, though, with a very quick look ahead. Washington travels to 2-6 Wisconsin on Saturday, favored in their 3 games leading up to the regular season finale against Oregon. Let's start with Wisconsin. How do you think they fare in this one?
Well, first of all, congratulations on Washington for finally getting ranked. They have deserved it for a couple of weeks, and they've finally gotten a little bit of love from the College Football Playoff Committee. But I actually believe that this game is going to be a good test for this Washington team because, one, you started to hear Jed Fish's name in rumors, and teams don't always play well when their coach's name starts to get in the rumors. And Washington has not played well on the road, and I think that this is the next step of maturation for this team is to not only play well when you're on Mont Lake, but be able to play well when you are on the road and carry that same energy and juice.
Hey, George, what do you like most about this Washington team?
Demond Williams. Demond Williams and Denzel Boston, just like everybody else. I like that this offense is dynamic, particularly in the pass game, and that Demond typically, outside of the Michigan game, he doesn't really turn the ball over very much, so that gives you an opportunity to win football games. But the thing you want to see him do in Wisconsin is get Jonah Coleman going because he hasn't had a 100-yard game since, I believe, UC Davis in the second week of the season. So you want to see him and Muhammad get some positive signs going in the run game because Wisconsin is, even though that they're 2-6, they are a very formidable defense, and especially against the run. So it's going to be a good test. And if you're Washington, you want to jump on them early because Wisconsin can't generate enough offense to beat you. But if you do not, you will end up in a slug fight. They will get drugged down in the mud and win a 17-7 game, which nobody's gonna love.
We were talking about Jonah so much to start the season. How much of some of the run game just not being what it was is because of those offensive line injuries as well? Carver Willis obviously just coming back.
Well, I think that is the lion's share of it because Jed Fish didn't become a bad play caller overnight between one season to the next after demonstrating he's a really good play caller for years. And then you have Jonah Coleman is even in better shape, and Adam Muhammad looks good too. They didn't just fall off and stop being 100-yard backs overnight and just everything, and then the protection hasn't been quite as good either. So you have to point to injuries in the offensive line as the reason why the running game hasn't gotten going, as opposed to pointing to the players, because you can't point to the guys who are in better shape, and when they get opportunities, they are still dynamic.
Were you surprised by anything with the college football rankings?
Yes, I was. I was surprised. Why in the heck was Texas number 11? They want Texas to be in the college football playoffs so bad. They want Arch Manning in it. this is still like they are playing significantly better. But you're not getting ready to tell me that road wins at Kentucky and Mississippi State that you needed to go into overtime with, and you were in a absolute dogfight with them. Both games you probably could have lost, and especially the Mississippi State game when I think you were down 17 in the fourth quarter. And now all of a sudden, hey, those are gritty wins. But then you don't want to give, the Big Ten credit for wins at Maryland or at Rutgers or at anywhere where else. They just want, that's an unranked team. Okay, well, how about Florida, who Texas lost to? That's different. That's a very good football team. They aren't what their record says they are, and they will tongue twist you into oblivion, trying to make you believe that the SEC is untouchable when the Big Ten is the best conference in college football right now.
Absolutely. Ohio State with the lion's share of the AP top 25 votes, but Indiana's been kind of the story otherwise. I mean, once Ohio State won week 1 against Texas, it was like, okay, it's clear that they're really, really good. This defense is unstoppable. Lesson learned in not having them number 1. But what else does Indiana have to do for people to more clearly be like, oh my God, this team's unstoppable?
Beat Ohio State. That's it. That's the only possible thing that they can do because nobody wants to believe in them. Like you even had Booger McFarland on the program last night. Who has Ohio State beaten? They beat the team that they ranked number 11, Booger. And then you had Joey Galloway. The metrics say that Texas A&M is the best, and I'm like, what metrics? The FPI, which the SEC wanted included in all these metrics, say that Ohio State and Indiana are the 2 best teams, and some of them say that Indiana is the best team. But because Indiana is not a traditional college football power, and in fact they are a poverty program historically, but now they are not. People they feel uncomfortable giving them the credit that they deserve, but they are going to learn, just like Penn State, just like Florida, just like LSU, during all these coaching searches, and they think that they can just steal anybody's coach and recruit top 5 classes, and they're mad that Texas Tech is probably going to have the number 1 class in the country in 2027. And oh my God, how this is bad for the game. They're just buying players. Like y'all were handing out money in McDonald's bags and passing them out, but that was fine until it ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Hey, any sleepers? Is there a team that you look at and you say, you know what, if they go on a run and some teams lose in front of them, they could sneak in this thing and make some noise?
I think that is squarely. I think that there are 2 situations that you have in the Big Ten. You have Washington, Iowa, and USC, who all, if they win out, they are going to have a legitimate shot. I mean, they're going to be 10-2, and they're going to be in the college football playoff. But all of those routes lead through Oregon. So you're going to have to. So USC has a shot. Washington has a shot, and so does Iowa this weekend. So I think that those are some opportunities there, and then you also have the Big 12 with a chance to get 2 teams in, depending on how this BYU Texas Tech game shakes out, and then you got Utah sitting on the edge at number 12.
Let's stick with Oregon. We talked about Washington facing them by the 4th week here. What's your question that you're waiting to have answered about the Ducks?
Listen, the question that I got about the Ducks starts this weekend in Kinnick Stadium against Iowa. This is no layup. The weather is going to be poor. Potentially, it's going to be much more like the Wisconsin game 2 weeks ago, where it was storming. and the wind was bad. And that's exactly what Iowa wants. So you're going to see if Oregon, after going out to Penn State and playing in a hostile environment, if this show is going to continue to travel, if Dante Moore is going to take the next step in his maturation because he didn't have a good game against Indiana, and now he's going to be facing another tough defense in Iowa, who's only given up. They're the fourth best rushing defense in the country, fourth best defense. But then you have Oregon, who people don't even realize is the sixth in the country in defensive yards allowed and the number one pass defense in the country. So this game is going to be based upon which offense is able to play better. And Iowa can't throw the ball at a high level. They haven't thrown for over 200 yards one time this season. So if you're Oregon, you're like, stop the run, don't turn the ball over, and win the football game.
Who's your Heisman favorite? Or maybe you have a couple.
So I'm looking at, I think that you have to give some credit to Fernando Mendoza and what he's been able to do at Indiana. And I'm kind of, a lot of people are pushing Julian Sand, but I am not, because his situation is just too perfect. He's got the number one defense in the country. He has Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate and a good offensive line. The run game is good. Like he's born on third base. Not that he's not doing an excellent job, but I tend to lend to people who have to do a little more of the heavy lifting in the situation. So I'm going to go with Jeremiah Love, Fernando Mendoza, Ty Simpson, and then a side of Julian Sand.
Yeah, I agree with you on the take on Sand, though. There's always a part, I think, of me, too, that kind of goes, well, man, you got a lot of weapons. I wanted to jump back to Washington just for a second. You mentioned that it says something about a team for them to be able to play through, let's say, rumors about a head coach. Do you anticipate those rumors about Jedd Fisch to continue through the season, especially if Washington continues to play well?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, because you have a lot of coaches a lot of fan bases and a lot of administrators in college football who their idea is they want to win the press conference. They're saying, oh, my God, we have to get a splash hire. We have to get a big name. Why do you want a big name? Think about this. I could only come up with 2 times where a school stole a Power 4 coach. He went to another team, and it worked out to their expectations. And that is when Nick Saban left Michigan State and went down to LSU, they got a national championship. And when Gene Chizik left Iowa State and went over to Auburn, he got a national championship as well. You can't say that it's worked at USC with Lincoln Riley. You can't say it's worked with Brian Kelly at LSU. He just got fired. It has not worked yet with Kalen DeBoer at Washington. Going down to Alabama, like they're still on shaky ground in terms of their his relationship with the fan base. The optimal thing to do. So quit looking at Jedd Fisch, quit looking at Lane Kiffin, quit looking at all of them, because every time a head coaching job comes up, what do they say? Oh, we want Marcus Freeman, we want Dan Lanning, we want this guy. And it's like, where were they? Kirby Smart, where were those guys at before they got to be head coaches? They were assistant coaches. So now you want to steal them and be a high-risk situation instead of getting an offensive or defensive assistant coach, and then making them your head coach instead of trying to be Mr. Steal Your Girl, because that don't work out.
Washington Wednesday with CW college football analyst George Wrighster. George, this has been so fun. Thank you so much.
Thanks, George.
Yep. Appreciate it, man. Hey, Bump, man, I'll see you soon, bro.
All right, man. See you soon.
Thank you. You know what before we get to 4 down territory, what I regret not asking George about, did he mention his Iowa take?
What was it?
Has he talked to you about it?
I don't know, maybe.
His take on Iowa and why Iowa is overlooked and underrated.
No, what'd he say?
He said they have a lot of white players.
I mean.
Can you please ask him about this?
I will ask him
He has a
about
whole
it.
video. It's up on his Twitter account at George Wrighster. But he just said Iowa is getting overlooked because they got a lot of white players.
Racist, man.
He said those exciting whites.
Come on,
They're
man.
at it
Hey,
again.
they got it over there. They got it.
All right. The latest from, speaking of coaching searches, Steve Sarkisian coming up in the timeline. And then coming up at 11:45, a prominent national voice says the Mariners are expected to be interested in this superstar. Right now, let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
All right, first down. What's something about quarterbacks you are unfortunately buying into?
Yeah, so, I'm looking at Jacoby Brissett do his thing for the Arizona Cardinals. Then I went back and I watched Kyler Murray work under that same offense. And I hate that I'm buying into this, but it's so hard out there for a small quarterback, man.
For the petites.
This is why they're going with Brissett, because he's staying in the pocket. He's throwing in the middle of the field. He's standing tall. He's not looking to escape. I watched so much film on Kyler Murray this year and last year where he just escapes. In the middle of the field is open. There's players sitting over in the middle of the field, and he just can't see them, man. Like, you have to be extremely special at that size. We already knew that. We knew you had to be special to be an under 6-footer at that quarterback spot. But this is mainly why they're going with Jacoby Brissett, because he just stays in the pocket. He gives the play a chance. So I hate that I'm buying into this. I'm 5'11". I had offers for quarterback. I didn't take them because I didn't want that responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
But to see over that line, it takes a massive man and a confident man to stay in that pocket. This is why they're moving on from Kyler Murray, or it seems like they're moving on in the time being from Kyler Murray, because he does not hit the middle of the field, and Jacoby is lighting it up.
It's the Jacoby Renaissance. Okay? People aren't ready to admit it. But Jacoby, I haven't thought up a fan group name for us yet. And I only just yesterday, I'm 24 hours into being a Jacoby fan, so this is new for me. And obviously it stops on Sunday. It pauses for 24 hours. But I find myself rooting pretty hard for him. Like, after that game, I was like, I really hope he hangs on to this job. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I kind of hope he does, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just a cool story. Second down. What move made keeps you optimistic?
Move not made.
Excuse me. What move not made keeps you optimistic? This has been a band. Matt is so upset with me right now.
Oh, man, it's no linebacker help. Seahawks did not acquire any linebacker help. So that tells me that Ernest Jones' injury might not be that severe. Maybe they feel like they can survive a week or two without him. That also tells me they like what they're getting out of Drake Thomas. That tells me they feel like they can get even more out of Tyrese Knight. I was looking at or waiting for the trade deadline to go down and just knew they were going to get some type of depth at that position. Maybe they did sign someone off a practice squad or something like that, but nothing major. But I thought there was going to be a name that we have been familiar with kind of get the nod there. But no. So that tells me, and if Mike Macdonald feels like you don't have to go get a name, I trust him 100%. I mean, Ernest is cool. I mean, Tyrese is good. And I love Drake Thomas, man. I'm gonna send you this one clip I have of Drake Thomas. This epitomizes Drake Thomas. He's smaller than me. He's like 5'9", 5'10", maybe 200-something pounds. He takes on this guard, fits him up, sheds him, gets in the backfield, lights him up. He plays like he's 6'3", 250 pounds, man. I'm really happy for Drake, and I'm happy for the opportunity that Tyrese Knight might have. So because they did not make a move at that linebacker spot, has me feeling pretty optimistic.
Can I throw in a tiny bonus question? Mike Macdonald said that in previous games, obviously when you lose someone on defense, you don't have to drastically change the plan, but you do have to move some things around just a little bit, right? You have to adapt. He said that he felt like in this game, losing Ernest Jones, losing Josh Jobe, it was the best that they've adapted. Did you see that?
So they played a lot of nickel and some dime in there too. There were times where Imawari and Witherspoon were playing the slot, and I think Imawari might be the key to that thing too, because he can essentially play that linebacker spot. He sends him on some blitz. He's getting the box. He's a good tackler. He plays with violence. There's this play going around to where he bench presses Traylon Burks, who's like 225 pounds, pushes him in the backfield on the screen. I think Nick Imawari unlocks something in this defense.
Third down. Who are you happy for?
I'm really happy for this guy, man. Kalen DeBoer. I'm really happy for him, man. You start the season off, you lose to Florida State, 13-17. You got Grandma Barbara calling the local radio show saying if she wins the lottery, she's going to get rid of him.
I forgot about that.
Right? And what does he do? All right, University of Louisiana Monroe. Okay, 73-0. Go ahead and do that. Wisconsin, 38-14. Then you play 4 ranked teams in a row. You beat Georgia, 24-21. You beat Vanderbilt, 30-14. You beat Missouri, 27-24. You beat Tennessee, who's also ranked 37-20. And then you shaky against South Carolina, but you got the job done. What are they talking about now? You got LSU coming up, who's a team that you should beat, right? You got an interim head coach over there. And then you got Oklahoma after that. And then you have your bye week that you always put near the end of the season. Eastern Illinois and Auburn, who's been struggling this year at 1-5 conference, 4-5 overall. But Kalen DeBoer, man, he's a West Coast guy. I know he's down in Bama. I know the UWers here are upset that he left. But he's doing his thing, man. He got his team ranked number 4 in college football playoffs. They might make a run at this. I'm happy for DeBoer, and believe it or not, I'm happy for Grubb as well. This level probably suits who he is as a play caller, but he's going to get better and learn from it. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes another shot in the league.
I was upset DeBoer left, completely understood why. And Alabama also threw the bag at him. It's a prestigious job. I completely get it. But then the only part of me that was still defensive is the part you just mentioned where he's a West Coast guy. There was still a part of me that was rooting for him because if nothing else, it's like pushing back against that SEC supremacy, them thinking, how dare anyone else come in here? How dare anyone from the previous Pac-12 come in here? And it's like, excuse you, I can say that Kalen DeBoer crushed a program. You can't say anything.
Yeah, don't you talk about him
Don't
like
you
that.
dare talk about him like that. That's kind of how I feel about Kalen DeBoer. 4th down. Anything stand out from our conversation with college football analyst George Wrighster?
Yeah, a couple things. One, Jonah Coleman has to get going again. Remember the way he started the season?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like top 3 in the country when it comes to yards.
I told you he'd get 5 touchdowns against Washington State.
He did. He got, what, 1?
I think I want to say he got 3 combined.
Okay. But Jonah Coleman needs to get going. That's the missing part of this UW team at this point. We know Damon over there as well. Boston, the pass game is going to be good. If he can get going, I agree 100%. Who knows on what this team can do because of the schedule they have lined up. He also said Texas at 11. Agree 100%. Why the heck is Texas at 11? Because a young man who wears number 16 who has Manning on his back. That's why he's there. Yeah. Also, this was a good one. UW, Iowa, and USC. If they went out, they can sneak into this playoffs, man. I love it. I want to mix this thing up. I want to see names I haven't seen before. I said earlier that expand. We need one more expansion from this college football playoff. Get it to 16 teams, and I think you are golden. Before the season, I believe it was the Big 12 who were asking for like 24, 28 teams. Too much. Once you get past 16, it gets watered down a bit. There are some teams that are going to have 1 or 2 losses that can beat an undefeated team, that can beat a 1-loss team. I think that's where you get to 16 and you stop it right there. But no, great call by my homie George, man. I work with CW, always full of great insight, and we should have him on again.
Hey, Indiana is the only team in the top, let's say 7, 8 or so, where I'm like, that's a name. It's not that you never, ever, ever see it, but it's a name that you kind of find yourself rooting for. Otherwise, you just have kind of either the Blue Bloods or teams that you've seen a million times. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Oregon's in there at 6. You're never going to catch me rooting for them. I don't care. Ole Miss, BYU at 8 for the AP Top 25, which is cool. But in terms of actual underdogs, I hope my actual dogs get it done. That'd be pretty cool.
Going to run.
Pretty fun. All right, coming up at 11:45, a prominent voice says the Mariners are expected to be interested in this superstar.
It's the Hawks Player Spotlight.
Tight end A.J. Barner is with us. How are you, man?
Doing well. It's good to be on here.
Brought to you by Three Tree Roofing.
The rookie on this O-line, Gray Zabel, is with us.
Sam is an elite quarterback.
Going deep with a different Hawks player every day at 3:30 with Wyman and Bob on Seattle Sports.
Every time he walks into the huddle, we know we got a chance for a big play.
Nick Eamon-Wari is with us.
I felt good physically going into the game.
Catch up on every Hawks Spotlight on Seattle Sports on YouTube and the Seattle Sports app.
IRG Physical and Hand Therapy doesn't just treat injuries, they elevate athletes. From weekend warriors to elite competitors, IRG Sports Institute clinics are built for performance, blending top-tier physical therapy with advanced sports science and personalized training plans. Hey, Brock Hewitt here with Shannon O'Kelly, physical therapist and owner of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Why? Why elevate athletes as well?
Because here at IRG, Brock, our motto is we want you to be your best self, your best physical self, your best mental self, and your best community self. At our new IRG Fremont Sports Institute, we're providing that type of care. We've got the latest equipment, the greatest techniques, the providers there that are excited to get you better, Basically, bigger, faster, stronger. Doesn't matter if you're a weekend warrior, a recreational athlete, an elite athlete, we will make you to be your best.
You'll work with specialists who understand the grind because they've been there. With access to cutting-edge equipment and recovery techniques, you won't just heal, you'll come back stronger. Visit irgpt.com, irgpt.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7. So you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Wow, look at these Black Friday deals on TVs. Samsung, Sony, and LG at the lowest prices of the year, even on their top-rated models. Now we can get that top-rated Samsung we were thinking about, but we'll need to get up early on Friday.
These are great deals, but why wait? Video Only has all these deals right now. We can get what we want today, and they're even offering no-interest financing.
So we can get these Black Friday deals right now at Video Only and pay it off later?
Yep, and many of their prices are better than those flyers.
Better than Black Friday? No wonder Video Only got those high scores when they rated TV stores. Let's head over now and beat the crowds.
At Video Only, you won't find huge stores with refrigerators or dishwashers, but you will find the best deals on the best TVs, sound bars, and home theater systems. Shop around, but then make sure you visit Video Only, because if you don't,
you'll be sorry.
In South Center, Bellevue, Linwood, Federal Way, and Tacoma. Video Only.
Kent Bowl reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Kent Bowl, a family-friendly place proudly serving you since 1958. Check out our bowling leagues at kentbowl.net.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Are you in pain? This is Dave Wyman, and if you're experiencing pain in your shoulder, elbow, wrist, hip, or knee, do what my friend and co-host Bob Stelton did and go see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
It's been a huge game changer. After 13 years of jiu-jitsu, I had a lot of issues with my hip. It was bad, so I'd heard a ton of patients raving about the results from their 90-minute outpatient stem cell procedure with Dr. Wagner, so I had to check it out. Dr. Wagner is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience performing more than 20,000 stem cell procedures using a person's own stem cells to regenerate cartilage in their own joints. Now, people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone on bone, are back to doing what they enjoy doing without pain and without surgery.
Whether it's a hip like Bob had, a shoulder, a knee, a wrist, an ankle, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry, even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
We've seen a larger than normal amount of head coaching changes in college football just this year, like mid-season. That includes Penn State's James Franklin getting fired, LSU's Brian Kelly getting fired. So current Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian has a very simple question for the programs and the teams that are firing these coaches. Are you going to be able to find better replacements?
Everybody wants to fire their coach. Who are you going to hire? There's all these jobs out there right now. Who's everybody going to hire? I don't know. We'll find out. Somebody's got to be the head coach. The amount of, 1 week you're a hero, the next week you're a zero mentality that fan bases and people want to have. Surely coaches want some security to what they sign up to go do. We work really hard, and I get it. We all want to win, and we're all busting our tails to try to win, and sometimes things don't go your way, especially in our conference. It's tough, and so the idea that coaches don't want some security in the jobs that they take, that doesn't quite make sense to me. It should be like, man, somewhere in here, somebody has got to be willing to say, hey, let's see if this can work itself out. Not every year, not all 16 teams in the SEC are going to go to the playoff. It's just not reality.
Are programs firing coaches too quickly, too easily?
So Brian Kelly was there for 3 seasons. Any accolades? He didn't win, hasn't won a conference championship. Here's the thing is, some schools' expectations are extremely high.
Mm-hmm.
LSU expects to compete for a national championship. The 3 coaches that were there prior to Brian Kelly all won a national championship. He knew going to LSU, you had to win a national championship. Now you're in SEC play, and you're not playing good football. I believe you're middle of the pack when it comes to SEC. You come in preseason ranked. Obviously, writers and analysts felt like you had a good enough team, a recruiting class to get this done. Another reason why I hate preseason rankings, because if you would have just waited, then maybe the gas wouldn't be so hot on Brian Kelly, and he might still have his job because expectations are different.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are one of like 10 to 12 schools, your seat's going to be hot regardless. I think in Brian Kelly's situation, in a lot of coaches' situation, it's not even like admin. It's pressure from the alums, the people who are giving money to this program, the mayor or the governor when it comes to the Louisiana State situation. I think coaches should have 3 to 5 years to try to figure it out. Finish your 3rd year, then after that, you see where you're going. And it's not just in cases what you're seeing on the field. It's the behind the scenes type of stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how are you with admin? I heard Brian Kelly was like chilling on the beach when he should have been recruiting. You know what I mean? Like, coaching college football is harder than coaching in the NFL because of all the recruiting you have to do, the transfer portal. And if you don't show that you're committed to that process, and the people who are paying you don't believe you're committed to that process, they're going to cut you pretty quick. But Sarkisian is correct. There's only like a handful of really good coaches in the NFL. Like the situation in UCLA, unfortunately, like that made sense. My homie Deshaun just got canned. I get it. What was another situation? Franklin. You've been there 12 years. I get that too. You're not winning. Brian Kelly's the one where I say maybe he should have deserved another year, but there are some situations where I'm completely fine
Well,
with
and all it takes is like a resurgence of your career, right? Like now Lane Kiffin's the most sought after head coach for LSU, who just fired their head coach when that wasn't previously the case, right? Like previously it's like, well, you failed somewhere, no one wants you, and all of a sudden you just need to succeed somewhere, become the hottest thing ever, make Ole Miss a top 25 team that looks amazing, and then suddenly LSU wants to throw you the bag. I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, I feel like there's 2 things here, and you know way more about college football than I do in terms of like some of these other levers that are at play, but I think my mind automatically went to these 2 things. One, you're right, like that influence from boosters, the pressure from boosters and alum, and the idea that they simultaneously, they're not always pure football people, so don't always understand like why your school isn't the top destination on the planet. Just because they're obsessed with it and they went there doesn't mean that a recruit from California and Florida feels that way about your school. But also maybe not quite impacting NILs and transfer portals and how that influences things. So part of it's just like the pressure from people who don't get all the intricacies of it. But secondly, and this is where I'm not pushing back on Sarkisian, but I'm just saying these people also respect a return on their investment.
Right.
And if there's something else that's changed about college sports and college football, it's that coaches are getting paid more than ever before.
Right.
So when you're paying someone that much money, I don't know, maybe waiting for 5 years doesn't sit so well.
Yeah, and it's the people who are funding the operation, like you mentioned, they don't necessarily know ball like that.
Yeah.
They just know this team ain't winning.
And they got a couple million to throw at you.
Why ain't this team winning when I donated $5 million to this program?
But I'm saying, if I gave $5 million to a program and I'm going, why aren't I in a national championship?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, Sarkisian, congratulations on delivering on that contract. But if we're going to talk about coaches getting paid all this money, well, with that money comes expectation. If you don't want those expectations, or if you want more time, then don't get $8 million in your contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But still, it's muddy waters here, because influence doesn't necessarily have or make the best decisions. The people with influence don't necessarily make the best decisions. But if you invest, you want to return, you apply pressure, or that $5 million, I'm gonna pay $5 million next time if you don't get rid of Brian Kelly. That will make you switch up real quick.
2 more stories. First, speaking of money, ESPN and YouTube are currently locked in a dispute, and ESPN personalities have been urging viewers to change TV providers, as the two sides have not yet reached a new deal. Pat McAfee went against the company line yesterday and told his viewers it shouldn't be their responsibility to make this deal go through.
We're all done with it, okay? We're all done with it. And also, if you're on TV, stop telling people to go to a website to save a multi-billion-dollar deal, okay?
Oh, come on.
Nobody cares what you have to say. There will be nothing that we say or any website that'll be visited that'll get this thing. There are, I'm going to say the exact names, but these people, it's poor sorts, though.
Yeah.
It's poor sorts out for the good of sports. Need each other. Need each other. A lot of people saying greedy corporate. It's like, yeah, need each other, especially with where sports are right now. And we're in the middle of it. So let's get that done.
Both greedy corporations. YouTube TV is owned by Google. ESPN is owned by Disney. These are massive, multi-billion-dollar corporations that are fighting. They're still their subsidiaries, but fighting over something. I'm kind of with Pat McAfee. Not everyone has the platform and power to go against company policy in this case, but
no, let people do whatever the heck they want to do. ESPN is going to survive no matter what. YouTube is going to survive no matter what. There's so many outlets and ways to watch football or whatever sports you want to watch. Just let people do whatever the heck they want to do. And you're right. No one on SportsCenter or ESPN is going to influence me in my decision making. What I'm going to do. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Like, are you getting a kickback from this? Like, are you incentivized? Are you getting something in your contract that says if you go out there and do this for us and we get X amount of people to flip over, you're going to get a check? That's the thing that it I don't know if it is disingenuous, but sometimes it feels disingenuous.
Last story here, and first a reminder to everyone that Curtis and I and Matt make fun of Bump all the time for lots of things. But one of the things that we've given you a hard time about before is, and you don't do it anymore, but you used to talk about players who signed elsewhere in free agency as though they were dead. So you would say something like, Poona Ford, who's no longer with us, and multiple times we'd have people go, hold up, what, did Poona Ford die? What's going on? And you'd be like, no, he's just no longer with us. Like a commonly used expression when someone has passed. Romeo Doubs taking a page out of your book because the Packers are hurting after their loss to the Panthers and the loss of tight end Tucker Kraft to a torn ACL.
Wouldn't wish that, just on, one of our captains or even just your worst enemy. I don't wish that on any man. And, Tucker is in a better place. But again, you just gotta. Next question.
Tucker's in a better place. Tucker has a torn ACL. I feel horrible for him. His season's done. He was electric this year. I'll remember him fondly. But Romeo Doubs pulling a Michael Bumpus, asked about his teammate who suffered a torn ACL. He's in a better place. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. He's in a better place, though. I'll say that.
Oh, man. Maybe he meant like he's at home now and not in the hospital.
I think he just didn't know what to say. He's in a better place.
Oh, man. That's a good one. That's a bumpism for sure.
That's absolutely a bumpism. Coming up next, a prominent national voice said the Mariners are connected to this big superstar.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny, that is really impressive. But the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health.
In the past 5 years, we've seen thousands of men at our clinics. Most guys tell us the same story, that in their early 50s, it's not that they couldn't function, they just needed help. They started taking Viagra, and it worked great at first. But after a few years, it stopped working. The problem is that their arteries had become more restricted since they started taking it, because Viagra does not unclog arteries. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to target the real problem. We break down plaque and clear up the arteries so blood can flow like it did in your 20s. This restores function. And guys, listen to this. You won't have to take a pill anymore. So if this sounds like you, give West Coast Men's Health a call today and see how we can help.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
When you're at home and next to your windows, do you notice cold air or a draft when the wind blows? How about moisture or leaking during a rainstorm? Dave Wyman here, and after 20 years in our home, our window seals started breaking. A failed window can do major damage to your home, and the older the window, the more likely it is to fail. That's why right now is an excellent time to have Harley Exteriors come by for a no-charge consultation. That's exactly what I had done over the summer, and not only were they extremely knowledgeable about all things windows, I found them to be polite, professional, and respectful. In other words, people you want to do business with. Harley Exteriors has a special offer for Seattle sports fans. Buy 3 windows, get 1 free. No payments or interest until 2027. And take an additional $200 off your project. Call 833-HARLEY or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today. They'll give you an honest assessment and quote. Go to harleyexteriors.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours. The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com. Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and $250 free hair hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
You know, I probably speak for a lot of Mariners fans when I say that every single winter there are massive names. And when you're looking at potential additions for Seattle, you usually scroll through the top 5 or 6. Then you go, okay, now let's look. Now let's see what the second and third tier of guys are. This is not a free agent. This is a trade candidate. Seattle is a draft, trade, develop organization, but this is a superstar. Buster Olney reporting the Mariners are expected to be among the teams that go after Tarik Skubal. Now, this would be, Buster says, bring him back to a city where he attended college. The Mariners obviously prize their pitching, playing at Pitcher's Park. They want to make sure that rotation stays as strong and elite as possible. They could use a lefty. They're a trade team. You're not going to sign him as a free agent. You're not going to be able to afford that contract, and it certainly looks like Detroit won't either. So if everyone's talking about the Tigers potentially dealing Skubal this winter, what if the Mariners are the team to acquire him?
That would be awesome. That'd be great. I'd love it.
But you don't think it'll happen?
No, I don't think so, man.
Why not?
I don't know. It's just, is he okay with going to the team that eliminated him as well?
He does not have a choice.
That's true. But he has influence. I'm sure he can talk. It's not like he's just sitting there. A guy like Skubal, I would assume at least, can talk to the organization, say, look, I don't want to go there.
If I'm not willing to pay you what you're worth, I'm definitely not taking your priorities into account.
But that's not real, though.
Sure.
A lot of the times, Skubal's not your average Joe in this league, right? He is a baller. I would assume that if he had any type of influence, he would at least call and be like, listen, please, anywhere else but this spot. So I'm hoping he doesn't put that in their minds, right? But why wouldn't you want Skubal? What team would not want Skubal? Now it's like, what do you want from him?
Okay, so Curtis, if I may rope you into this one, what would a trade for Skubal entail? You don't have to have exact names, but we are presumably talking about a pretty painful parting of ways here.
Yeah, I mean, the Mariners obviously have the best farm system in baseball, and with that comes a price tag that will probably be steeper than most teams because you have the ability to absorb the losses better than most other organizations. So I think any conversation in a trade with Tarik Skubal, if you're the Tigers, you're looking for somebody's best prospect.
Does it need to include Colt Emerson or Cade Anderson? Because those are two pieces the Mariners are also counting on. Again, draft, develop, and trade. You don't want to get rid of the develop part.
Right. I would have a tough time parting with either one of those, especially Cade Anderson, because of you're just kind of looking down the road at what your rotation is going to be. I don't know how many more years you're going to get out of Luis Castillo. The health of a lot of these guys kind of was in flux this season. You've got George Kirby and Logan Gilbert who are not signed beyond their arbitration years. So, there's going to be questions about rotation depth going forward. And Cade Anderson, I think, is going to be a very important part of that over the next couple of years. We may even see him as soon as next year if his development is good. So that's just me kind of spitballing. I think if you're the Tigers, you have to make the ask for the team's best prospect.
This would be for just this year, right? Because this is his last year. So while I have been very aggressive in saying, you got to take risks, Bump, I don't know, and maybe I'm absolutely insane because I think Tarik Skubal is electric and amazing. I don't know that I'd part with Cade and Colt for a year of Tarik Skubal.
No.
Because, again, he's a Boris client. He's going to be a ton of money. This is all about looking back at the deal for Juan Soto, thinking, what if you would have done it? This is that exact same principle. do you give up something for a year of this person you'd never be able to afford in free agency?
Nah, I'm right there with you because you know that the strength of this organization, one of them, are the young men that they have in development. And you're going to need one or two of those dudes to pop, right? So if you get rid of those two, then your chances of having, one of these guys develop just go down tremendously, man. Unless Skubal was like, look, I promise, okay? Scout's honor. I'm going to sign with this team again, which you can't trust because of his agent, like you mentioned. I wouldn't do it, man. So that's the tough part because you understand how valuable he would be to this team. And I imagine him in this rotation against Toronto. You feel great about it. You're not stressing as much on the Wu situation or whatnot. But, yeah, man, this is a tough one because I like young talent. I also know that it takes a while for young talent to really become or reach their full potential, and it's not guaranteed.
Exactly.
It's not guaranteed. So this is a tough one. I would explore every avenue, though, when it comes to trying to acquire him.
Same, and this is kind of that, like, really interesting angle. There are, like, two interesting angles the Mariners can take that are still very risky, but within their own kind of working platform. One is being more aggressive at trade deadlines, being aggressive in July. Maybe it's because ownership feels like, hey, we know what we have. We know what teams are willing to part ways with. We don't have to pay for these guys in quite the same way. Like, they seem very open to being aggressive at midseason deadlines. The other would be making risky trades before guys hit free agency. You were never going to be able to afford Juan Soto. You could have traded for him. You're not going to be able to afford Tarik Skubal. Someone's saying Scott Boras hates Seattle. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of common knowledge with, first of all, Scott Boras kind of hates everyone. He likes money and he likes his players. That's who Scott Boras cares about. But you don't have to worry about that right now. This is in that other realm of, okay, there's midseason trades where you can be aggressive, and then there's winter trades. If you're not going to outspend, what if you outdeal?
Right.
So that's what lands you Skubal. It is short term. Is it worth it? Is it worth it?
Man,
if it puts you in the World Series, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But
1,000%.
does this do it?
I think
it gets you closer.
I think it gets you a lot closer than where you were.
Imagine you had Tarik Skubal in the postseason.
Can't just be him, right? That's your wish list. There has to be something else. If they could be aggressive and ensure that other moves will be made, it might be worth it.
Okay, if they traded for Skubal and successfully brought back Naylor, are they closer to being a World Series team?
Of course they're closer, yeah.
Would you bet on them being a World Series team?
Would I bet on them? Yeah, I might.
Maybe it's worth it.
Maybe it is.
You can't guarantee it. You cannot guarantee it. Nothing you do will guarantee it.
No, nothing's guaranteed.
But I guarantee that having Tarik Skubal makes you a better team. That's all I can guarantee.
I'm still just looking at the corner, looking at third base and saying, all right, what are we doing?
They're gonna go with Ben Williamson.
Ben Williamson's the guy.
It's gonna be Ben Williamson.
That's it.
Yes.
You know, that's our move.
Yes.
So Ben Williamson.
It's gonna be Young at second.
And everyone else comes back.
So Polanco, I mentioned this in our snapshot, but I've not said it during the show. Polanco declined what was a mutual option, so the player option for $8 million. That was expected, so he becomes a free agent. So in terms of running it back, a lot of people want Naylor, but let's say, like, technically Polanco could be an option. Daniel Kramer of MLB.com reporting the Mariners are interested. We've not heard anything about Gino Suarez, so I think you're right. And then it's going to be Williamson. Maybe you bring back Polanco and Naylor, and then that's kind of the bring it back group. Well, now we talk about what you add. Everyone else is coming back. Everyone else is under contract. So if you run it back with Naylor and Polanco, and then you have Williamson at third, what do you do to put yourself over the edge? What are you going to go get? Kyle Tucker?
That'd be nice.
I mean, now we're talking free agents. Bo Bichette's going to be incredibly expensive. He's not going to play short, probably. So you can find a second baseman there, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not going to outspend.
This is where I bow out and just say, you know what? I'll wait and see what moves are being made. Would I love Skubal? Of course I would love Skubal. Of course. Does he make you better? Yes. Would you have to give up some young talent? Probably. But it's a domino effect.
Yeah.
And what's going to be the first domino to fall?
All right. Eagles wide receiver A.J. Brown did not end up getting moved at the deadline, but did Philly try to trade him? Covering the NFL's top stories today, next.
Hawks Live. Presented by the Dining District at the Bellevue Collection. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Live from Bellevue Square Center Court. Come on by and join hosts Michael Bumpus and Paul Moyer and a different Seahawks player every week.
This should be fun.
Hawks Live. Thursday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. Exclusively on the home of the Seahawks. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here with Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy, inviting you to come work with IRG. And Shannon, what kind of staff are you looking for at IRG?
Brock, we're looking for all kinds of clinical staff, physical therapists, occupational therapists, athletic trainers, certified occupational therapy technicians, physical therapy assistants, you name it on the clinical side. We are looking for those folks. But we are really looking for folks that want to come to an organization that want to be part of our culture and change the culture and work with us to provide the best care and service we can to our patients, our team, and our community. So those clinical people out there, we're looking for you. We also provide advanced certification. We want to provide you mentorship. We want you to grow personally and professionally here at IRG.
And with over 40 clinics throughout the Pacific Northwest, you've got the opportunity to work in the city you want. Just head over to irgpt.com/careers. That's irgpt.com/careers.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
Stacy here, and if you're in the market to sell your car or explore getting a new one, I have to tell you about the coolest thing. It's Wayscar Ford's vehicle profit sharing program. Here's how it works. You sell them your old car at fair market value. You can sell it that day, get paid right away. The whole thing takes about 30 minutes. Then when they resell it, they split the profit 50-50 with you. It's not a consignment. It's a way for a trusted local dealership to avoid things like auction fees and then split savings with an actual customer. Listen. I am someone who sold an old car years ago and got completely ripped off. It was also later involved in a crime. I don't have enough time to tell you about it. It's another story for another day. But I wish I would have known about this program, and it's why I'm telling you about it now. Other people are finding out Wayscar Ford just surpassed sharing over $1 million with customers who have sold them their cars. Sell your car for top dollar and get a share in half the profit when Wayscar Ford resells it. Why would you want to sell your car anywhere else? Wayscarford.com. That's Wayscarford.com.
The rainy season's here, Seattle, and your roof can't wait. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and get $500 off today. Costly repairs and Band-Aid fixes won't hold up and just drain your pockets. Our technicians replace roofs year-round, backed by the strongest warranties. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Jorge Polanco is turned down his $8 million mutual option per John Heyman. The 32-year-old switch hitter now becomes a free agent. MLB.com's Daniel Kramer says there is interest from the Mariners in bringing him back. The Kraken face the San Jose Sharks tonight at Climate Pledge Arena. Puck drop at 7 p.m. on Kong and Amazon Prime.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. All right, taking a look around the NFL, and let me just say before I get to this first story, by the way, Bump, not to bring this on air, but I still think it's very weird that you've never had grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Nah, never had it.
I've just been thinking about that because it's gross outside.
Bomb,
it's rainy.
though.
Well, yeah, because I was thinking about it during the break. I was thinking, God, you know what sounds delicious because it's rainy and gross outside? It's like a grilled cheese sandwich with tomato soup. I think you should just work on that. Did the Eagles try to trade A.J. Brown at the deadline? GM Howie Roseman answered that question on Tuesday.
Well, would really like to keep this about the guys we acquired, but, you know, Tim, I think that when you're trying to be a great team, it's hard to trade great players. And A.J. Brown's a great player. He wears the C for a reason. He's an important part of this team, of this organization. He cares about winning. He cares about his teammates. And, you know, I think that when you're a team like ours that is looking forward to an opportunity to compete for a championship, you just don't get rid of the guys like that. And so feel very lucky to have him on our team and excited about the second half of the season with him.
I feel like this is a version of Howie saying exactly what Adam Schefter was saying on ESPN all week long, which is, why would we trade him? We're trying to win a Super Bowl. He makes us better. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he's going to have to just suck it up, man, and play some football. I don't care how angry or frustrated he is. You're 6-2. You're top of the conference, one of the best teams in the game. Jalen Hurts is starting to figure some things out. He had a 4-touchdown game. Like, no, we're not trading one of our best pieces because he had a bad couple weeks.
Well, and again, good teams only trade those guys when they're like serious, like you're a locker room cancer. You're bringing us down. You're making us worse. Like, I'm forced to trade you. I have no choice. But that's just, I don't think that's where the Eagles are. Like, just because someone's sending out some really weird Instagram posts, like, he's still performing in games for you.
Yeah, he's still doing his thing.
As long as he does that, he'll still be there.
Relax.
The Colts took the biggest swing of the entire trade deadline by acquiring Sauce Gardner from the Jets for 2 first-round picks. Head coach Shane Steichen spoke about what went into the decision to land Gardner.
He's an unbelievable player. To get a bona fide #1 corner in this league, like I said, it elevates everybody around us. He's got all the elite traits you look for. He's sticky in coverage, the pass breakups, the interceptions. He's feisty, he's aggressive. Just to add that to the fold of the back end with the guys we already got back there, like I said, it's going to elevate everybody. So I think just a great get by Chris getting him.
Props to the Colts for being aggressive. You're never going to hear me dog a team for being aggressive. That was a very bold move, though. I mean, you didn't have an answer at quarterback heading into this season. You traded away your best bet to get that answer. I guess you must think it's Daniel Jones.
Yeah, you must believe in what he's doing. And also, this defense just got better. They're already 3rd in the league with 10 interceptions. And that's not what Sauce does. He was, 3 interceptions in 50-something games, I believe, or something like that. But he's sticky in coverage. The pass defense is going to be on point. This was I believe that we can be Super Bowl contenders type of move. And I applaud the Colts for doing it. They just better have gotten it right with Indiana Dallas.
Isn't it weird that the 3 7-win teams in the AFC, none of them are the Ravens, Chiefs, or Bills?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Patriots, which I guess we're used to seeing great, but not in recent years. The Patriots, Broncos, same thing, and Colts.
Yeah, it's a new day.
It's a new dawn.
It's a new day.
On the other side, why did the Jets trade their two best young players in Gardner and Quinnen Williams? GM Darren Muge explains himself.
A lot of work goes into it. Never an easy day. A lot of tough decisions. Never easy moving on from any player, let alone guys like Sauce and Quinnen, who've been a part of this organization and a part of this team this year. You're set on what these values are really, what they're really worth in these players and what you might be willing to do to part ways with them. And we got to today and had these offers that we just felt were too good for the team.
I saw quite a few analysts saying that the Jets won the deadline. Like, no one was critical of what the Seahawks did by any means. But I saw more people saying the Jets won by getting this return. Your season was done. You got multiple first-round picks, not just from Gardner. I think the Cowboys gave up a first and a second for Williams. So you got 3 first-round picks.
Yeah, this just says just don't walk around and act like you're not rebuilding now, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you want it if you're looking at it the right way and putting the right message out. Don't lie to the people, lie to your fans and saying this is not a rebuild, this is not a teardown. Quinnen Williams, one of the best defensive tackles in the game. Sauce Gardner, one of the best corners in the game. You get like 3 first-rounders out the deal. You're saying, Aaron Glenn, let's start this thing over next year. Hey, let's get you a quarterback that you really like and see if we can build from there. The problem is the Jets don't do quarterbacks. Right, that's just not.
Like,
Mark Sanchez was as good as it got as of late. You got Pennington. Other than that, it just doesn't work that way. You know what? Brett Favre put together a heck of a season with the Jets.
Oh, every quarterback that's been okay with the Jets has been some kind of veteran to come in. Like, it was his second, third stint, and he looks fine, right? The Jets are in this really interesting spot that a lot of teams find themselves. The Saints are kind of here as well. Maybe the Raiders will be. That's our next story in a second. But it's where you're trying to rebuild. You clearly are not a Super Bowl team. You're clearly not a playoff team. But then you have really good players, and it's like, okay, how do you overlap that? How do you keep those good players overlapping with your new guys? Like, if you're 3 years away from being deeply competitive, assuming you hit on those draft picks in free agency, well, suddenly Sauce Gardner's in the final year of the 4-year contract extension he just signed with you.
Yeah, it's at least offensively they kept their 2 main weapons. You got Hall and you have Wilson. I think there were rumors that Hall was going to be shipped around. I think that's the last thing you wanted to do, because whichever quarterback you get, you better have a run game to help them out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, season's over.
Were the Raiders ever considering a teardown at the deadline? As you can probably guess, Pete Carroll was very much against that.
Last night you were talking about the trade deadline, and that you guys are always competing and looking for ways to maybe help. Do you mean that just in terms of this year? Or are you okay with maybe making a move that would maybe ding the present just a little bit in order to?
No, I'm not thinking that way. That doesn't. It never comes to my mind at all. We're trying to get better, ongoing right now, and see what we can get done.
Neither of us are surprised Pete Carroll is an always compete guy. That's quite literally his philosophy.
Yeah.
Should the Raiders have sold at the deadline?
Yep. Yeah, you should have. You're not good enough. You're just not good enough. The defense isn't good enough. The offense is up and down, smiles and frowns. Swallow your pride sometimes and just do what you haven't done before, which is tear this thing down. It's going to be the biggest mistake of his tenure over there with the Raiders.
Yeah.
You got to believe in what you see. And I'm sure Pete is watching film and does not see a contending type team, not even for the division. So, yeah, I think that was a mistake.
Last story here. It would appear that Fox Sports has moved on from analyst Mark Sanchez. This is following Sanchez's arrest last month. The network and Drew Brees have agreed to a deal that pairs him with Sanchez's former broadcast crew.
Wally Pipp. Wally Pipp.
Swapped him.
Man.
Right out.
How fast. Mark Sanchez would have been set until he was Al Michaels' age, man. And just tricked it all off. Man, did we get any details? Like, was it drugs? Was it alcohol? I mean, it was obviously one, if not both of those things.
Definitely inebriated. I don't know about drugs, but he was definitely inebriated. Man. The only thing we know, I think the only thing to come from it since was some CCTV footage of him running down the road, pre and post being stabbed, by the way.
Really?
Running wind sprints, which is my favorite part of the story. Yeah, it's a bummer, man. Like, even though it's like a mistake made by that person, it's still kind of just one of those things where you go, hey, the whole thing's just a bummer of a story.
Yeah, it is, man.
Yeah. Anyways,
well,
Drew Brees.
Actually, the guy who got beat up, I hope he's he's
also
doing
very
good.
important. Headline rewrites coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Nobody hooks you up like Popeyes. The Big Box is the reward that keeps on rewarding. Crack it open and you're greeted by 2 pieces of crispy signature chicken. Or if you want, 3 tenders, nestled in there with the 2 sides speaking to you most in this moment. You got that biscuit, and what are you waiting for? Dig right on in. That's feast mode activated, and you're in big box business for $6. Love that chicken from Popeyes. At participating U.S. restaurants, price may vary, tax extra.
At Bible Law Group, we understand what it means to be local legal representation. From shopping at the Bon Marché, picking up gear at Chubby and Tubby, crying for Joey Cora, now for Cal, grabbing a burger while JP Patches clowns by. We live here and fight for you. That's why Bible Law gives local representation to those facing legal problems too big for prayers, even if you can't pronounce Squim or Puyallup. Our legal team has secured more than $40 million in settlements for our clients. We're ready to fight for you. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
For the first time ever, enjoy 0% interest for 60 months with equal monthly payments, plus 15% off new windows and doors only from Lake Washington Windows. Voted the best in the Northwest for comfort, quality, and savings. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
It's comedian Tom Segura at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center with an encore performance Saturday night, November 29th.
I want to be that type of old. It's an old where you get yelled at for saying you want to be helpful. Like when an old person's like, I'll take out the trash. Someone's like, are you out of your mind? Your spinal snapped. Sit down.
Tickets at EmeraldQueen.com. Tom Segura's Come Together Tour, November 29th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older, need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit EmeraldQueen.com.
Hi, I'm Andy, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a product development manager, I make sure every piece of fine jewelry at Shane Company is meticulously designed for quality. From 14-karat gold chains, pearl necklaces, diamond studs, and of course, dream engagement rings. We know you can get your holiday gifts anywhere these days, but knowing your loved one's gift was crafted by master jewelers? It's a difference everyone can see and feel, no matter the price. All of our fine jewelry begins with a vision by our in-house designers. Then, we ensure each piece meets our high-quality standards every step of the way, including the smallest details. It's why our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive, free lifetime warranty that covers everything and doesn't cost a dime. At Shane Company, there's no shortcuts, just craftsmanship. Because a friend wants your fine jewelry to be nothing short of perfect. Come see for yourself. Visit us in-store or at shaneco.com. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service, 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Going to let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, first college football playoff poll of the year is out. Huskies coming in at number 23. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama are the top 4 seeds. What's the real headline?
We want Indiana. We want Indiana. I was going to say we want Ohio State, but I don't actually want that again.
You mean like UW, or are you talking about the people?
Yes, we.
Y'all don't want that smoke.
No, I don't. But very, very cool for UW. The first time they've been ranked in the top 25 since 2023.
Yeah, good for them. Well-deserved, man. Probably a few weeks overdue, honestly. That offense is great with DeMond and Boston. You got to get Coleman going once again. Defense needs a couple stops. If they could win out, like our homie George said, they could be in a good position. You got Wisconsin, Purdue, and UCLA. 3 games that they can win, and then the big test against Oregon, which you never really know. Oregon is playing some good ball right now.
I don't want to say, is there a team that doesn't belong? And that also means we're suddenly breaking down like, well, I don't know, should Pittsburgh be at 24? Should Tennessee be at 25? But is there a team that you think is a little too high, getting a little too much love, maybe a little too low? Just one of the rankings that just don't quite make sense to you.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, I second what George said. It's Texas getting too much love over there. I mean, you lost to Ohio State. I know that was week 1 or whatnot. Then you lose to Florida. You lost to Florida 29-21. They weren't even ranked at the time. You got to start looking at those 2 games. Florida has lost to South Florida, LSU, Miami, who's out of the top 10 at this point. Texas A&M. I mean, they're not a very good football team. So, they should be like around 15.
No, I agree with you. You can see some very, very clear, like, AP Top 25 has them at 23, and the college football ranking has them at 11. That feels like a pretty big gap. Oh, what is this? 4 SEC teams in the top 6. Bumping Oregon a little bit lower. Yeah, it's very, very clear what's happening. That's not to say that all these teams aren't very, very good. Like Georgia being 5th they're 5th on both, but Oregon being 6th versus 9th is not like a massive, massive gap. I'm sure Oregon fans feel a bit differently, but for the most part, you're right, and that Texas is like the most obvious gap. That being said, selfishly, would I be curious to see Texas on that platform? Yeah, like I'm still curious about them and curious about Arch Manning. By no means have they played up to expectation, nor has he. I know he's been dealing with injuries, but I'm still kind of curious for all the hype that there was.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, the Arizona Cardinals have named Jacoby Brissett their starting quarterback ahead of this week's game against the Seahawks. What's the real headline?
It's bad news for the Seahawks, Bump. No one wanted to believe me when I said Jacoby throwing bombs. No one wanted any of it, okay? They thought, no, Stacy.
When did you say that?
Remember yesterday when I said Jacoby throwing bombs?
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah, I did say that. I meant that. Do I think Jacoby is the answer for the Cardinals? No, I do not. Do I think that that's genuinely horrible news for the Seahawks? I have no idea. They've fared poorly at times against backup quarterbacks. I think the Cardinals are a better team than their record. Overall, I don't think it makes a massive difference. It is interesting, though, that Jacoby, their backup, seems to kind of fit the offense better than the guy you're paying a ton of money
He
to.
fits most offenses better because he goes through the process. He's better under center. He stays in the pocket. It doesn't mean that he's a better athlete than Kyler Murray. It doesn't mean that he is going to be an elite quarterback, but sometimes OCs just want you to run the plays and be on time and stay in the pocket and go through your reads. And at times, that's been tough for Kyler Murray. Kyler is way more talented than Jacoby Brissett. But that man is tall. I can see over that line.
Now, the Cardinals and their fans would disagree with me, but tell me if I'm wrong, you guys. I see the Cardinals as being out of the playoffs and just kind of competing at this point. Yeah, they're going to be an upset. They're not a horrible team, but I think in a very stacked NFC with a lot of really talented teams, they're just not going to get it done. Maybe I'll be wrong, but that's how I feel. That being said, is it a mistake then to not get time for Kyler? It feels like in a season where you're not competing, starting Jacoby over Kyler is like, hey, this gives us our best chance to win. So that's why we're doing
That's the thing. They are competing. They're not losing by a lot in these games.
They're not, but I don't think they're a playoff team.
No, they're not.
So why risk Kyler's relationship with your team?
Maybe they feel like it's over. Maybe they feel like they're moving on. You know, but they're competing. I think they're looking at Jacoby and they're saying, man, if we just had what Jacoby's done the last 2 games or game in these, the 5 losses that they do have, they would be in the hunt in the NFC West.
Why hasn't Kyler worked out in Arizona, do you think?
It's processing, man. And I'm going to talk about doing 4-down territory. This is the first time where I'm like discriminating. I'm like, the smaller quarterbacks, it is just hard. Drew Brees was one that could do it. Doug Flutie did it for a while. You're going to have your outliers, right? But for some reason, Kyler Murray, I've watched film where there are guys waving their hands like they're at a rap concert in the middle of the field.
He just doesn't see him.
He just cannot see him.
I mean, it's hard because the Arizona Cardinals as an organization have failed in other areas. So part of you wants to look at, a cast of general managers or Bidwell or whoever it is and go, oh, well, you guys really messed up there. Because, they're not an organization that's been perfectly sound top down. Bars. But.
Oh, you can do it, but I can't.
But that being said, it's felt for a while now like Kyler.
It's not meshing over there.
It's not meshing.
It's not meshing.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, Bears tight end Colston Loveland, a.k.a. not Sam Darnold, was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week. What's the real headline?
Well, I think we've got another case of voter fraud on our hands. Who's voting for Colston over Sam?
Yeah, that's interesting, especially when a quarterback has a performance and puts up the numbers that Sam Darnold has. It's almost an automatic that they're going to get some type of award or accolade. Lovin just had a career day, right? I think his first 2 touchdowns of the year he scored against the Bengals. You mentioned that the Bengals give up the cheeks of tight ends every week, so it's not a surprise. But like most offensive awards in the NFL, quarterbacks get the benefit of the doubt. So, yeah, I'm surprised as well.
Yeah, Colston Loveland, you really should have, as 2 GMs of our fantasy football teams, you should have talked about this one with me. Because I would have told you that entering into this game, the Cincinnati Bengals defense had given up 10 touchdowns to tight ends, which was 4 more than the next closest team. I would have said, Bump, I don't know about this. I know you feel good about your roster, but there's a decision to make here.
You don't know my squad.
You're right.
Someone has to sacrifice.
We have different team building philosophies. You know what I mean? And I don't want to infringe on someone else's team building.
You shouldn't, because I got 3 fantasy championships.
Whew. I see. I have none. I have none, but I am.
But you are
8-1.
Place.
I'm in first place by a lot. It's not even close.
Really?
There is no parity in the League of Corruption right now. It's me dominating. I'm a dynasty.
After one good season.
Yes.
That's the worst part about fantasy. I've seen so many people dominate and get into the playoffs and then.
Oh, that's been my previous role, is just being a spoiler. Never finishing higher than like 9th, 8th, 7th. So being like the last team into the playoffs and then upsetting someone. That's my job.
That's what I do.
That's what I do. You know what I mean? You got to know your identity. But it's changed this year.
All right.
This year, I'm a fantasy football expert. I finally cracked the code.
Teach an old dog new tricks.
Yeah. I mean, it took 10 years in the same league.
Did it. You're Sam Darnold. You're Geno.
You're
Indiana Jones.
Thank you. For some of us, it just takes a little while longer to figure it out. But then we do it. All right. Coming up next. In one word, what did the Seahawks add at the deadline when they acquired Rashid Shaheed? And does it make them the best team in the NFC West? The Athletic Football Show's Robert Mays answers next.
That was a dominant victory yesterday. Yeah. Just phenomenal.
Brock and Salk.
About as good a masterpiece on national television as you can ever watch.
Morning 6 to 10.
I have no more ceiling on what this team is capable of.
You play your game. You play your style. That game, that style, it travels. It's dominant. And I don't see somebody you can't play with. when I watch the NFL this year.
Brock and Salk, morning 6 to 10, only on Seattle Sports.
Stacy here, and if you're like me, you usually hate looking for a new car. Most of that's because you're never quite sure who to trust. It's why I loved my own experience at Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Chris and Mark and Way himself, I'm telling you, these are real people. I actually know them. They were super accommodating, and they listened, and they want to ensure that your experience is the same, hassle-free and with zero pressure. I also can't tell you how amazing it feels to finally upgrade to a new model as someone who put off getting a new car for years. I ended up with a Bronco Sport. I'm obsessed with it. Heated seats, heated steering, all-wheel drive. In the winter, absolutely worth it. Wayscar Ford is family-owned and operated for 103 years in Auburn. They offer a lifetime powertrain on all new Fords, and there's never any pressure. If you change your mind within 5 days or 500 miles, take it back for a 100% refund. Learn more at wayscarford.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Want more Seahawks content? Join me, G. Scott, on The Reset. New episodes of the podcast every Monday and Thursday on YouTube or on the Seattle Sports app.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Luxury has arrived at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. It's Mike Salk here. You can book now for an unforgettable experience. Let's talk about Hawks Peak. It is the place to be for game days this football season. With over 66 TVs, indoor-outdoor concept, the deck is covered and it's heated as well. And the food, oh man, it was excellent. All with breathtaking views of the Cascades and the Snoqualmie Valley. Yep, you can go to snocasino.com. Seattle's closest is now Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Robert Mays, host of the Athletic Football Show, joining us right now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. And a busier trade day than I was expecting yesterday, Robert. I think the Seahawks ended up making a move. I don't know that one person was criticizing this. It was like the fun move of the day. Your first reaction to Rashid Shaheed being acquired by Seattle?
Fireworks, baby. Just in terms of like the sitting down experience of watching a unit, one of the more surprising in the entire NFL. And part of that is their ability and proficiency at pushing the ball down the field. And the fact that they've been able to do it at such a ridiculous clip with, JSN and some Torrey Horton slipped in there as really your vertical downfield threats. I just think that this allows you to kind of put in what would be like a fully realized version of Torrey Horton 2 years from now. You're kind of shortcutting it. And I think that makes sense when you're a team that is probably looking around the NFC and the NFL as a whole and thinking, why can't we do this? Like with one subtle thing, why can't we be right in the conversation? And so from a skill set standpoint, the price they paid and just what it feels like potentially for their offense, I loved it for Seattle.
When you look at the wide receiver group here in Seattle now with Horton and Shaheed, obviously JSN, you got Cooper Kupp. Where do you think they rank in the NFC? Who would you compare them to?
It's a great question. You know what it reminds me of a little bit? I think it's probably not quite to this extent because these two guys are just, better overall players. But what the Rams have with Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams, where for Seattle, I think it's even a bigger consideration that it's only two because they play with three wide receivers on the field so rarely. 11 personnel at 30% of the time, you really only need two receivers to kind of see through the vision that you want to. And I think that skill set wise, Shaheed and JSN really do complement one another because in this version of the offense we've seen so far, JSN really is their most important and most dynamic vertical threat. He can do that, but he's such a dynamic, dangerous player in the intermediate area of the field. And now it allows you to put him on more of those routes because you have Shaheed in the building. And so on a bunch of different levels, I think it falls into place really well for them.
Seattle's got the best passing offense by DVOA, but in terms of eye test and your experience watching them, where would you rank their passing offense?
I think that they're a group that has really benefited from their ability to dictate how games are going to opposing defenses. And that's not a criticism. That's really speaks to the job that Clint Kubiak has done so far this year. But if you look at just the scenarios in which they've thrown the ball, they do a great job of getting teams into base defense by putting heavier bodies on the field. They use a ton of play action. I think just based on the way they're built, even, some concerns still like interior of the offensive line, lack of overall receiving talent. When you put them in like true drop back scenarios, it's 3rd and 7, we got to have it. I think that's where you might see a little bit of the deficiencies in some of the areas where they still need to grow a little bit. And I think that's why adding a guy like Shaheed is so important because now having one more viable receiving threat on the field when you're in those scenarios, I think allows them to maybe improve there in ways they're going to need to if they're going to do some damage deeper into the season.
Last week, Stacy and I were having conversations surrounding the Seahawks, and it was like, man, when are they going to start getting more love nationally? And I think we settled on, okay, well, they have to have a good showing on Sunday Night Football. Obviously, they do that 38-14, but it was against a banged-up Commanders, yet they're still getting a lot of that love. What did you see during that game that you think kind of influenced the national media to pay attention?
I think anytime you're on that sort of stage, it certainly is helpful, and so everybody's watching that game. I think you get a sense of what this team feels like. And when you are able to just steamroll an opponent like that, even one that's banged up, that matters in the NFL. And I think that's what's been so impressive. I think there are a lot of similarities between what's happening with the Colts and what's happening with the Seahawks. And one of the things that really has jumped out to me about both of those teams is these aren't like squeaker wins for the most part. they are really jumping on these teams. And even when maybe the final score is a little bit closer than the game flow might indicate, like the Jacksonville game is a good example of this to me, they feel dominant over the course of that game. And so for that to be on full display, like that level of we're going to control this thing from the opening whistle to the final whistle, I think it's hard for that not to open people's eyes that maybe haven't been watching this team very closely so far this year.
I wanted to get back to your point about them forcing base defense on the field, getting a lot of stack boxes with heavy personnel usage. And that's something we've been talking about a bit here. We've talked with a couple analysts who have said something along the lines of, well, eventually defenses are going to force them to run and kind of call their bluff. And when I've asked Bump about it, he goes, well, I mean, how do you not match personnel? Like, great, fantastic, then do that. So I'm wondering, Robert, about kind of where you see this potentially going. Having Shaheed is massive, right? But kind of down the road, do you see defenses adjusting, or is there just a certain level of respect you have to pay to those matchups no matter what?
It's a great question. I think it depends on the defense, and I think a lot of teams in the NFL, they kind of have those automatic levers. Like if you have a fullback on the field and you're going to play in all these condensed formations, we're going to put base defense on the field. It's just like it incites an immediate reaction and response. And so I'll be curious to see if teams stop doing that and start daring them to run the ball, or when they play against teams that maybe are a little bit better equipped to not play with base defense at all. That's to me what's so remarkable about Seattle's defense. And when you watch that Sunday night game back over again, you sense it on both sides of the ball. Seattle's offense does an incredible job of dictating terms to opposing defenses. We're going to do X, that means you're going to do Y. And in that sort of relationship, we always have the upper hand. Seattle's defense responds to nothing. They're in nickel every single play. They're in a lot of those too high looks on the majority of snaps. And so there's no way that you can make them do what you want to do. And so I'm curious if they run into one of those sorts of teams that maybe is a little bit more comfortable playing with lighter bodies on the field to defend the run, what does that end up looking like? But there just aren't that many defenses in the NFL equipped to play that way.
We spent a lot of time talking about this offense, and rightfully so. They're doing great things this year. But this defense, like you mentioned, has been playing some good football, and that's without Julian Love being out there. Ty Okada subbing in for him. You got Witherspoon back this week. Nick Mawari missed a few games. What makes this defense so special, and what do you think the potential is?
I mean, I think they have a chance over the course of the season to be the best defense in the league. I thought that coming into the year, and there's nothing I've seen so far, especially considering they've been banged up, that has pushed me off that. And it sounds simple, but it's a combination of being really well coached and having good players. Stop me if you've heard that before as like a consistent formula to being good. That's what they have. And you look at that defense, and right now, let's throw Julian Love back in the starting lineup. And let's just say, for argument's sake here, Ernest Jones is healthy, even though I know he's not. Who's the worst player on the Seahawks starting 11 on defense?
Be a backup and one of their...
If Reek starts?
No.
Who else? Who?
Like Tyrese Knight or one of their...
He don't start Drake Thomas, probably.
Okay,
yeah, it's probably Drake Thomas at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's really the only area where it's like, oh, maybe we could be a little bit better there.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, you have guys that are capable in every single spot. Even coming into the season, if maybe you had some concerns, what is Josh Jobe going to be as a full-time guy? He's been excellent this year in the role that they have him playing. And so personnel-wise, there are very few obvious holes. They have depth in areas that teams just don't have. Like the fact that you can just drop Derek Hall back into the lineup on Sunday. And it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot Derek Hall plays for this team. And then you see what he does every single time he's on the field. The flexibility they have in the secondary when they get healthy. There's just a level of depth, malleability, and talent across the entire defense that very few teams have. And you combine that with a defensive coach and defensive play caller that might be the best in the NFL. Like, you watched how well coached they are and just the communication on the back end, their ability to just understand how routes are distributing and reacting to it that way. They just so rarely feel out of sorts. And when you combine that with the talent level that they have, you just have a group that is really, really hard to play against.
Seahawks taking on the Rams in 2 weeks, November 16th. I'm having a hard time. We were debating earlier in the show and have been talking about it really every single year, but certainly this season with both being such explosive passing offenses, kind of who's got the edge. Who would you give it to right now, Robert?
I think mostly I would give it to the Rams just because I have more equity. Like, and trust over time in what that offense is. We talk about in those defined drop back situations, what are the Seahawks going to be able to do in the most important stretches of the season? I've seen Matthew Stafford do that. And so I think in those moments, I kind of default to the team I've seen do it in the playoffs deeper into the season, but I don't think that means the Seahawks can't. I'll say right now, that game, we were talking about it yesterday when we were planning out our podcast of the week, that's the game I'm probably most looking forward to this season, is the first matchup between those two teams. And I think it's because of the quality of those teams. I think it's because of how competitive the NFC West is. And I just love watching Mike Macdonald and Sean McVay play against each other. I think for a long time now, when they played against each other a few years ago, I think it was 2023, when Mike was the defense coordinator in Baltimore. I think that game was kind of a microcosm for where offensive and defensive football in the NFL were. Like, these guys are always on the cutting edge, the two of them on either side of the ball. And so now the fact that we get to see them go up against each other when the opposing unit, like the Rams defense and the Seahawks offense, have now risen to a level where that side of the ball becomes compelling. Like, as a football nerd, there is no better matchup right now in the NFL than those two teams playing against each other.
Yeah, I agree. Trying to encourage people not to look past the Cardinals. Obviously, that is named Jacoby Brissett as their starter over there. What type of problems do you see the Cardinals presenting for the Seahawks?
I think they've done a really good job of tapping into exactly who they want to be on offense with Jacoby Brissett back there. This is a team, if you look at where Drew Petzing, their offensive coordinator, comes from, he wants to line up under center. They want to use play action, and they want to throw those in-breakers to Marv and Trey McBride and all those guys. And that's just not a style of football that Kyler's ever really been comfortable playing. And so it's kind of crazy when you sub in a guy that is a journeyman backup that you got for a few $million this offseason, and you pretty clearly are more able to run the offense that you want to run. And so I think the whole thing with them just feels a little bit more cohesive on that side of the ball with Jacoby in there, and that's why they're sticking with him. And on defense, this defense has been pretty good all year. They were banged up in the secondary for stretches of the early part of the season, but now you get those guys back where, Will Johnson's playing well. You get Max Melton back. Garrett Williams is back in the lineup now at nickel, and now their defensive front is really starting to come along. Walter Nolan is a fantastically talented player, and them not having him for the first half of the year because that calf injury he had in training camp, you saw what he's capable of doing now that he's dropped back into the lineup. So it's him, Josh Sweat. I think that defense is going to be a unit that maybe surprises some people in the back half of the year.
5 NFC teams have 6 wins, 6-3 for San Francisco, 6-2 for the other 4. And I feel like this is a bit of a cop-out because you can really make a case for any one of these teams in theory, right? Like, maybe a really healthy San Francisco team, or like we've seen this version of the Eagles before. But if you had to say right now which team you're betting on, which team you're kind of looking at as like, they're my number one until they aren't in the NFC, who would it be?
It's a great question. I think it's probably between the Seahawks and the Rams still. I think those are probably the teams that I would land on. The Eagles and the Rams. I think that the Eagles, they're inconsistent. There's no doubt about that. There are stretches where their offense is just maddening to watch. But at the same time, we've seen them do this before, where they can be this uneven group throughout the regular season, and then they can really tap into something. And if you look at some of the ideas they've trotted out on offense over the last couple of weeks, they're clearly trying to find stuff that works for them, and I think they're getting closer and closer to that. And the defense, we'll see what happens with Jalen Phillips and Michael Carter in there now. You really felt a lack of edge depth for that team. It's the reason they had to go out and get Darius Smith and convince Brandon Graham to come out of retirement. Jalen Phillips, I think, really does solve a need for them. And if they can get better cornerback play by moving Cooper DeJean outside with Michael Carter, you kind of solve the issues on their defense. And so that team, I think, just earns the benefit of the doubt at this point. And I just think that the Rams, top to bottom right now, are a really, really good football team. Their defense playing as well as it is, combined with the superpowers we know they have on offense, those are probably the ones I'd keep in the top tier. The Green Bay just continues to be frustrating to me. Like, I just don't know what to make of them. Their best is as good as anybody, but there just is an inconsistency there that worries me. And then I think the Seahawks are right there, like at the top of that second tier, just below a team like the Rams and the Eagles. And so I think there are a lot of really, really good teams on that side of the bracket right now.
We had Isaiah Stanback on our show last week, and I asked him, okay, who's a team that, we should probably start watching that no one's talking about? And he said the Panthers. Lo and behold, they go out and they win a ball game. What's going on we call them the East Coast Seahawks with all the connections they have over there? What's going on with the Panthers?
they're a fun team to watch right now. And I've been so impressed with what their run game has looked like over the course of the year. Obviously Rico Dowdle is playing really good football, and he's kind of wrestled away that backfield. But the offensive line and what they're getting out of that group, even though they've been hurt for a good chunk of the year, it's just really, really impressive. And so the design of that run game and their ability to kind of get the most out of all the component parts, I think, has really gone a long way. And, the defense is just, if you look at where they were last year and where they are now, I think you could make a serious argument that it's the most improved unit in the NFL. And it's kind of exactly what they wanted it to be. That team last year on defense was historically bad, especially against the run. And you get Derek Brown back this year, you get J.C. Horn back healthy, and then they spent a ton of money in free agency to just kind of get to a level where it's like, okay, we're like a competent NFL defense. And that's exactly what they are. And so I think a lot of what they wanted to be in the offseason has kind of fallen into place. The problem is I'm not sure that's the case for Bryce Young. I think if I was excited about the Panthers coming into the year. I thought they would be a sneaky, potential wild card contender. I thought they'd be competent. I thought Bryce Young continuing his level of play from the second half of last season would be a part of that. And unfortunately, he has struggled more than I expected him to. Thankfully for the Panthers, a lot of the other elements of who they are have kind of been able to make up for that.
The Athletic Football Show, hosted by Robert Mays. It's always really weird when we have hosts of shows we regularly listen to on. I feel like I'm talking to my podcast. I just listened to your guys' trade episode. Rate, review, subscribe. Excellent work from him. An excellent interview as always. Thank you, Robert.
Thanks, Robert.
Anytime. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one. Let's get to 4 Down Territory.
This is 4 Down Territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
All right, first down. What's something about quarterbacks you are unfortunately buying into?
Yeah, so, I'm looking at Jacoby Brissett do his thing for the Arizona Cardinals. Then I went back and I watched Kyler Murray work under that same offense. And I hate that I'm buying into this, but it's so hard out there for a small quarterback, man.
For the petites.
This is why they're going with Brissett, because he's staying in the pocket. He's throwing in the middle of the field. He's standing tall. He's not looking to escape. I watched so much film on Kyler Murray this year and last year where he just escapes. In the middle of the field is open. There's players sitting over in the middle of the field, and he just can't see him, man. Like, you have to be extremely special at that size. We already knew that. We knew you had to be special to be an under 6-footer at that quarterback spot. But this is mainly why they're going with Jacoby Brissett, because he just stays in the pocket. He gives the play a chance. So I hate that I'm buying into this. I'm 5'11". I had offers for quarterback. I didn't take them because I didn't want that responsibility. Mm-hmm. But to see over that line, it takes a massive man and a confident man to stay in that pocket. This is why they're moving on from Kyler Murray, or it seems like they're moving on in the time being from Kyler Murray, because he does not hit the middle of the field, and Jacoby is lighting it up.
It's the Jacoby Renaissance, okay? People aren't ready to admit it. But Jacoby, I haven't thought of a fan group name for us yet. And I only just yesterday, I'm 24 hours into being a Jacoby fan, so this is new for me.
Uh-huh.
And obviously it stops on Sunday. It pauses for 24 hours. But I find myself rooting pretty hard for him. Like, after that game, I was like, I really hope he hangs on to this job. I know that sounds ridiculous, but I kind of hope he does, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just a cool story. Second down. What move made keeps you optimistic?
Move not made.
Excuse me. What move not made keeps you optimistic? This has been a band. Matt is so upset with me right now.
Oh, man, it's no linebacker help. Seahawks did not acquire any linebacker help. So that tells me that Ernest Jones' injury might not be that severe. Maybe they feel like they can survive a week or two without him. That also tells me they like what they're getting out of Drake Thomas. That tells me they feel like they can get even more out of Tyrese Knight. I was looking at or waiting for the trade deadline to go down and just knew they were going to get some type of depth at that position. Maybe they did sign someone off a practice squad or something like that, but nothing major. But I thought there was going to be a name that we have been familiar with kind of get the nod there. But no. So that tells me, and if Mike Macdonald feels like you don't have to go get a name, I trust him 100%. I mean, Ernest is cool. I mean, Tyrese is good. And I love Drake Thomas, man. I'm going to send you this one clip I've had of Drake Thomas. This epitomizes Drake Thomas. He's smaller than me. He's like 5'9", 5'10", maybe 200-something pounds. He takes on this guard, fits him up, sheds him, gets in the backfield, lights him up. He plays like he's 6'3", 250 pounds, man. I'm really happy for Drake, and I'm happy for the opportunity that Tyrese Knight might have. So because they did not make a move at that linebacker spot, has me feeling pretty optimistic.
Can I throw in a tiny bonus question? Mike Macdonald said that in previous games, obviously when you lose someone on defense, you don't have to drastically change the plan, but you do have to move some things around just a little bit, right? You have to adapt. He said that he felt like in this game, losing Ernest Jones, losing Josh Jobe, it was the best that they've adapted.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah. So they played a lot of nickel and some dime in there too. There were times where Imawari and Witherspoon were playing the slot, and I think Imawari might be the key to that thing too, because he can essentially play that linebacker spot. He sends him on some blitz. He's getting the box. He's a good tackler. He plays with violence. There's this play going around to where he bench presses Traylon Burks, who's like 225 pounds, pushes him in the backfield on a screen. I think Nick Imawari unlocks something in this defense.
Third down. Who are you happy for?
I'm really happy for this guy, man. Kalen DeBoer. I'm really happy for him, man. You start the season off, you lose to Florida State, 13-17. You got Grandma Barbara calling the local radio show saying if she wins the lottery, she's going to get rid of him.
I forgot about that.
Right? And what does he do? All right, University of Louisiana Monroe. Okay, 73-0. Go ahead and do that. Wisconsin, 38-14. Then you play 4 ranked teams in a row. You beat Georgia, 24-21. You beat Vanderbilt, 30-14. You beat Missouri, 27-24. You beat Tennessee, who's also ranked 37-20. And then you shaky against South Carolina, but you got the job done. What are they talking about now? You got LSU coming up as a team that you should beat, right? You got an interim head coach over there. And then you got Oklahoma after that. And then you have your bye week that you always put near the end of the season. Eastern Illinois and Auburn, who's been struggling this year at 1-5 conference, 4-5 overall. But Kalen DeBoer, man, he's a West Coast guy. I know he's down in Bama. I know the UWers here are upset that he left. But he's doing his thing, man. He got his team ranked number 4 in college football playoffs. They might make a run at this. I'm happy for DeBoer. And believe it or not, I'm happy for Grubb as well. This level probably suits who he is as a play caller, but he's going to get better and learn from it. I wouldn't be surprised if he takes another shot in the league.
I was upset DeBoer left. Completely understood why. And Alabama also threw the bag at him. It's a prestigious job. I completely get it. But then the only part of me that was still defensive is the part you just mentioned where he's a West Coast guy. There was still a part of me that was rooting for him because if nothing else, it's like pushing back against that SEC supremacy, them thinking, how dare anyone else come in here? How dare anyone from the previous Pac-12 come in here? And it's like, excuse you, I can say that Kalen DeBoer crushed a program. You can't say anything.
Yeah, don't you talk about him
Don't
like
you
that.
dare talk about him like that. That's kind of how I feel about Kalen DeBoer. Fourth down. Anything stand out from our conversation with college football analyst George Wrighster?
Yeah, a couple things. One, Jonah Coleman has to get going again. Remember the way he started the season?
Yeah.
I mean, he was like top 3 in the country when it comes to yards.
I told you he'd get 5 touchdowns against Washington State.
He did. He got, what,
wrong.
1?
I think he got, I want to say he got 3 combined.
Okay. But Jonah Coleman needs to get going. That's the missing part of this UW team at this point. We know Damon over there as well. Boston, the pass game is going to be good. If he can get going, I agree 100%. Who knows on what this team can do because of the schedule they have lined up. He also said Texas at 11. I agree 100%. Why the heck is Texas at 11? Because a young man who wears number 16 who has Manning on his back. That's why he's there. Yeah. Also, this was a good one. UW, Iowa, and USC. If they went out, they can sneak into this playoffs, man. I love it. I want to mix this thing up. I want to see names I haven't seen before. I said earlier that expand. We need one more expansion from this college football playoff. Get it to 16 teams, and I think you are golden. Before the season, I believe it was the Big 12 who were asking for like 24, 28 teams. Too much. Once you get past 16, it gets watered down a bit. There are some teams that are going to have 1 or 2 losses that can beat an undefeated team, that can beat a 1-loss team. I think that's where you get to 16 and you stop it right there. But no, great call by my homie George, man. I work with CW, always full of great insight, and we should have him on again.
Hey, Indiana's the only team in the top, let's say 7, 8 or so, where I'm like, that's a name. It's not that you never, ever, ever see it, but it's a name that you kind of find yourself rooting for. Otherwise, you just have kind of either the Blue Bloods or teams that you've seen a million times. Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia. Oregon's in there at 6. You're never going to catch me rooting for them. I don't care. Ole Miss, BYU at 8 for the AP Top 25, which is cool. But in terms of actual underdogs, I hope my actual dogs get it done. That'd be pretty cool.
Going to run.
Pretty fun. Coming up next, let's hear from the head coach himself, Mike Macdonald, speaking with reporters live at Virginia Mason Athletic Center.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny. I mean, that is really impressive, but the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
The LJ way is.
You look at stuff like this and it's like, I don't want to come into an industry and work on a place that is going to compromise how I feel about myself. I get to go to work every day with good people and I get to enjoy what I do because I'm out there just trying to do right by people I care about, which is our community. We're going to see him at the grocery store. I'm going to see him at the sports tournaments. 2 friends of our daughters came in last night just on the lot, didn't know I was there. And it was cool because you got to take them through and they're going to buy a car for their first driver and a car for their kid going to school soon. These are the people that you're going to work with. And so you better make sure that your laundry's clean. I don't think Lee Johnson specifically, right, Speedway Chevrolet, where I'm at, I don't think they've ever had a problem with the community of being able to stand up and look them in the eye and know that they did their job well.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you're a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today. It's not just about better health. It's about a better life.
With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. That's 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
At Washington Energy Services, we take the time to get to know you and your home. We have the passion and commitment to see each project through and to treat our work as more than just a job. For over 65 years, we've offered award-winning home services from heating and cooling, plumbing and electrical to windows and doors. Complete home improvement handled from start to comfort. For peace of mind when you need it most, count on Washington Energy Services, bringing good energy to your home.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here. For my friends at People Come First or PCF Construction Group, are you tired of just grilling in the cold and rain every winter in the Northwest? Well, with a patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor deck or patio all year long, staying warm and dry. even in the wintry months. And I have a special offer for you. PCF's Black Friday sale runs through November, and you can get up to 20% off your entire project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. Most people don't consider building a deck in winter, but if you want yours ready by next spring and summer, then contact PCF right now to start planning. Spend the winter dreaming, designing, and approving your project so you're ready to build by the spring. Remember, planning and permits take time, so get started right now. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or call 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, pcfgroup.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
A day after announcing backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett will start against the Seahawks this Sunday, the Cardinals have placed Kyler Murray on IR with a foot injury. The earliest he could return is Week 14 against the Rams. The Texans have announced quarterback C.J. Stroud will miss this week with a concussion, so it'll be backup Davis Mills against the Jags.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Ahead of Week 10, Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald speaking with reporters to give a few important injury updates and talk about the team's newest addition, Rashid Shaheed. Let's take a listen.
Well, you have a new receiver. What's your thoughts about the trade and bringing Rashid in here?
Really excited. He was got in the building this morning, so we're off and running. Their offense is walking through right now. Obviously, has familiarity with Clinton and our system, so hopefully it's expedited getting up to speed. But enjoyed our conversation since the trade, and I know the guys were excited. It's a great opportunity to add to our team. Didn't feel like we were missing, something. It's not like we were trying to plug holes or anything like that. It was just an opportunity to get a great player and to augment what we were doing. So that was it. But yeah, I'm excited about it and excited to see him out there.
What did Clinton tell you about him, both as a player and just kind of the guy that you're getting?
Well, just our type of guy, and there's a presence. There's a difference to him out on the field that he's a playmaker. Obviously, the speed's real and working, making plays down the field, things like that. But he obviously felt like he's a great player too. So we had an alignment. It was Clint. It was our personnel folks, and John can worry about all the compensation and all that. But it was great.
You guys worked hard to cultivate a certain culture and identity in the locker room. How much is it a consideration when you add someone to it, who they are off the field as well as who they are on?
Yeah, it's a big part of the conversation. It's a big part of the formula. I think it changes based off of the situation and position groups and things like that. But that's definitely part of our calculus, I guess. But I feel like our guys are really. Talking about just in general here, just whoever we bring in, I feel like our culture is strong. Where our vets will do a great job of bringing them in, and hopefully it's pretty obvious pretty quickly as you walk in here and you're part of our team meetings and how we operate, how we practice. That we have a certain style and way about us that they can be assimilated into.
How much does it change kind of your typical game preparation week when you add a new person into the lineup that will be incorporated?
Talking about Rashid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got Ernest last year.
Yeah, it's you can't do everything in 1 week, but I think you got to figure out what the kind of tipping point is of what he's comfortable doing, how it fits into our broader plans. Yeah, you're trying to figure it out. I think it varies. Roquan came in and played the whole game when we were in Baltimore. Ernest came in and played the whole game when we were here. And I don't think we pretty much got to everything we wanted to be able to get to with Ernest. Offensively, it's probably not the same. It's probably not the same.
What can you tell us, Mike, about how Cooper's doing, Tarik and Jake Bobo?
Well, we're not going to be full speed today, so not the most accurate kind of report coming out, but Coop will be out there to some degree. Tarik and Jake, we're still going to figure out what's going on there, and that was it, right? Ernest will be out there to some degree.
Was Cooper close to playing at all on Sunday, or where's he at on that?
I'm not going to say like close or not close, but he wanted to play. It was the best thing for him not to. Yeah. The guy's a stud. He's going to do everything possible to play, and it's up to us to make the best decision, for him and for the team.
Is today one of those, what do you call ACT? Is today ACT day?
Yeah.
You mentioned Shaheed's speed, Mike. How much do you seek to change how defenses play you by stretching the field and his speed being able to be singular in that?
I don't think we're trying to dictate structures or anything. I think it's as simple as this guy can really help us, and it's our job now to make sure it comes to life, and working with him and getting him caught up to speed that we can get to the things that we want to get to, and we stay effective in all the situations, and we can improve. There's plenty of room for improvement in the run and the pass game, different situations, third down. You can kind of go line item by line item of where we can improve, and a lot of those areas he can help. So that's probably why we're the most excited. I'd hope so.
What did you think about Reed's performance on Sunday? And was there anything in that game that stood out compared to?
Yeah, he's stacked 2 really good games, good weeks of practice. That wasn't really our original plan going in, and then Josh coming out, so we shuffled the back end a good bit, and Reed did a great job of playing a lot of the things that we hadn't given him those looks throughout the week. So it tells you he's preparing and he's confident, he's playing fast. So a lot of positive.
Did you find get the good news from the test from Ernest earlier this week?
I'm not going to measure how good the news is. He's working through it. He's going to be part of our walkthrough. We'll see how much he does in the actual ACT. So I'm sure it'd be limited to some capacity today, and then we'll see tomorrow. But it's good spirits.
You mentioned the term alignment when you talked about the trade with the front office. How much have you seen that alignment with them pay off in the drafts and what you've been getting out of players where they're kind of finding the guys that fit you right and that you can develop?
Well, I think that's something that we're pursuing all the time in a good way. Last year, my mentality was, hey, these guys, they got a heck of a track record, and we believe in what they're doing. Let me take a step back here and kind of let them do their thing. If they, wherever we get in on opinions and things, and how I can help enlighten them on our vision so we can get aligned. That was the way. And then after the season, I think we had some more time to really have a better understanding of what was important to us, and realize maybe there's some things here or there where maybe they, I haven't thought of where where a guy could fit, or vice versa. And it's just a fun group to work with, I guess is probably what I'm saying. And when you are aligned that way, and you want to play a certain way, and you want a certain person, type of player, type of person on your team and in your building, then it definitely streamlines that whole process for sure.
And with that, halfway through the season now, what have you thought of this rookie class? What you've gotten out of guys, Gray and Nick and Torrey, it's a lot of guys.
Yeah, not quite the rookie takeover yet, I guess. Guys are doing a great job. What we talked about from the offseason, and part of the message to our team is, I think that you're looking at the results now, and there's a catch there where really the secret sauce is in the process of what they've done on a weekly basis, what our team has done from the spring and throughout training camp, and the attitude they have, and the rookie class is a great example of that. We talked at length throughout the offseason about the extra work they were putting in, how they were picking the veterans' brains, Just how they operated throughout the building too was pretty cool. You know, how they assimilated themselves. So I think that's what you're seeing the result of as from all that work that they've been doing.
You've got a new starter down there in Arizona, Jacoby Brissett instead of Kyler Murray, and obviously you played this team before, but it's also kind of different. How do you see the differences in what you've seen lately?
Well, yeah, they are. You can tell they've done some moving and shaking over their bye, which all good teams do. You know, consistently evaluate and evolve, and they've done that. And I think you've seen the effect of that, of how effective they've been. Even before the bye, I thought they were moving the ball well. They're putting up points. They're playing efficiently. They're taking care of the ball. They're doing a lot of really good things. That's what they're doing. I mean, they were doing that before, but just how they got it done was a little different with Jacoby's a little more under center. You know, they've eliminated some of the quarterback-driven run game that Kyler brings. So there's some differences in how they're operating, but I'd say, but it's been effective. You know, I thought they really dictated terms in the game on Monday night.
You expect you and Jay expect Rashid to return kicks?
He'll be part of our return game. Yeah.
Just punts, kicks, kickoffs, both.
Working through it, but it's fair to say return game for right now. Yeah. But, like Torrey's going to still be our returner, but we'll train him at punt returner.
Are other defensive linemen going to start lobbying for kick coverage after seeing Peely's?
I haven't heard any whispers yet, but guys, I think the best part about that play was how excited everybody was for him to have success. I mean, we've been hunting forced fumbles, and we weren't really expecting to get it on kickoff, but it counts. So.
You guys have faced one of the maybe the highest percentage of loaded boxes in the NFL. Can Rashid, with the deep threat ability, can he help change that?
Well, I mean, yes, but I think it's tough to like different teams operate under different like modes of operation and philosophies. You know, we're a shell defense with single high complements. It's just kind of how we roll. A lot of teams are single high with split safety complements, and based off of how, you know, by situation and people that you put on the field, people don't just like, I don't see teams just, you know, if you are just doing this every week and you're like that, you're probably searching for somewhat of an identity. And the great defenses, you know, have their fastballs and they throw those, and then they have their changeups and curveballs off of it. So I guess what I'm saying is like, I think it's a week to week thing. And it's a situation by situation thing, but and look, like you're allowed to throw the ball against shell defense too, and there's a lot of great route concepts that work against shell. So it's just there's good versus all plays. I mean, it's hard to make like general statements that of what we're trying to do. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Coming off a big national win and maybe getting some more requests for interviews for guys and you and whoever else nationally. Do you make any adjustments, or are you wary of, you talk about that with the team and just to keeping the main thing week to week?
Well, I think just the timing of where we're at in the season going into the second half of the year, and I want our team to understand that we've put ourselves in a position here because of what we do throughout the week and on a day-to-day basis, and our mentality going into game of focusing on how we want to play the best version of football that we can, no matter the circumstance. Again, you know, there's a lot of firsts for our team that for us to go where we want to go are going to have to be first. So like winning on primetime is a first, but you can't say we have to win on primetime. You have to go play your best version of football. We want to win the next game. Ultimately, we want to make the playoffs. You know, we have aspirations to go further than that, and those are all be first for our team. You start getting into the whole like gravitas of the situation, you're going to get lost. So I trust our guys. We're going to be sticking to our process and double down on that. And to me, that's how we win games on a weekly basis, is by nailing that and playing our best football.
Josh is still just in the protocol.
Yeah.
Did Devin Witherspoon come out of the game okay? His first game back?
Yeah. Spoon's feeling good.
What do you like about your team's ability to communicate to a newcomer the expectations and kind of how the team operates?
I have a lot of confidence in it. I think, and it hasn't just been in this situation with Rashid. It's been, we've had a lot of guys join our team since the end of camp and throughout camp, and I think it's pretty clear, you know, about what we do and how we do it. So there's a lot of like nonverbal communication that goes with it as well. But our guys have been awesome, and it'll be fun. Like I think I'm excited to see how it comes together because I really believe in the guys we have and how they operate, and I think that they've done a great job of creating an environment, our coaches included, where people feel like they can play the best version of themselves and play their best football. And if we keep doing that, then we're going to keep playing good football as a team as well.
In terms of the style you want to play on defense, how much are you seeing that come to life and how you guys are playing on the perimeter, whether it's your edge guys or
Yeah,
guys
that's
like your
that's
nickel?
definitely an area of improvement going from the beginning of the season, and I think we've improved there. You're right. If we play the way we're supposed to, then those plays will come to life, and they have for the most part. There's some things we want to improve, but it's not through a lack of effort or a lack of want to or intent. It's really just through how we're training it and fundamentals. So, but we're going to need to keep doing that to play good defense.
What about Derek Hall? What did you think of him in his first game back?
Yeah, I thought Derek played a really good game. Physical on the edge, decisive in the pass game. I thought the way he rushed was like as one with the guy. He worked well with the guys around him, so didn't miss any chemistry. He played a great game.
You called out Tyrese tonight after the game, but what does it tell you about a guy when he goes through some tough times on the field, whatever it is, loses his job, and then gets put back into action and responds the way he did?
That's all you can ask for him, and for being a second-year guy, it shows. He's had a lot of adversity throughout his life, and he's here, and he's playing great ball, and it shows you that he's ready to play and he's preparing the right way. It's all you can ask for. You're happy for him. That's the mentality we have to have as a defense and as a football team. That Kenny, when you go through some dark spots, you just got to keep plugging away. Like you got to double down on the process, stick to the things you believe in. Trust the people around you, and there's going to be opportunities where you can shine. You can go through our roster right now, and there's certain position groups or certain players that might not feel like they're quote unquote they're contributing as much as they could be or should be. But I think it's a great picture that it really does take everybody all the time. And even if you feel like your role isn't as high as you want it to be, how important it is to the whole collective effort of the team, and that's what makes it go.
I know we asked you all the time about the offensive line, but just how did you feel like they played on Sunday and sort of where they are? It was kind of the halfway point of the season.
Yeah, we're on our way. The guys are playing hard. There's our quarterback, our protection right now in the pass game is improving. They're doing a good job. That also, like we've talked about, that coincides with the timing of plays and things like that. Run game wise, I thought we did. I think a lot of times it's frustrating to say, but I think we're like a block away. So how do we get those things done? How do we get them dialed? How do we get them targeted? And it's not just the offensive line. It's tight ends, it's running backs, it's the receivers getting to second and third level players as well. Make sure we're going to the right guys, and we're making strides. We're improving. I feel like we just we got to stick to that process. But our offensive line is doing a great job. They're working hard. I really liked how they practiced last week. I thought that was their best week of practice.
All right, that was head coach Mike Macdonald. Let's hear from Rashid Shaheed, the former Saint, acquired via trade yesterday, speaking with reporters now.
What was your initial reaction when you got the news yesterday?
It was a bittersweet feeling. But a lot of excitement from, my family, myself, of course. Just excited about the journey, excited to be here, excited to be a part of this organization. And so far it's been nothing but welcoming and, just feeling good right now.
Why the level of excitement? What do you know about the organization?
So I know it's a winning organization, and that's what matters the most in this league. And just excited to be a part of it and get to know the guys, the coaches, and just get acclimated with the culture around here.
What these last few weeks been like? I mean, it seemed like there'd been some rumors maybe this would happen for you. Had you been thinking that this might happen, and what had that been like?
Yeah, trying not to focus on the rumors. It was a lot of stuff circulating, but I'd had to stay focused on what, I had in front of me. But, now that it's here, I feel like I'm ready for it. And everything is going to be smooth, a smooth transition.
Will it make that smooth transition be easier because it's Clint running the offense and you played with him last year?
Yeah, familiar with Clint. Super glad to be connected back with him. He's familiar with me. He knows my strengths, and I know what his mindset is going into games. And, it shouldn't be too hard to get acclimated with him and just, find my role in the offense.
From your first glance at the playbook, is it pretty much what you know from a year ago, or is there tweaks to it from what you guys had in New Orleans?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. Little tweaks here and there, game planning stuff. But from the first looks of it, it looks pretty similar. It's just going to take a minute to, get used to the verbiage again, and it should come pretty quick.
What were your reactions to seeing what Clint's offense was doing here in Seattle in his first year here?
Yeah, I'm not surprised. The first, minute he was with us in New Orleans, it was super explosive. A lot of big plays, and he just brought the same momentum here. And it's been nothing but smooth, and it's been fun to watch.
Do you have any guys on the team or other connections that you know out here?
I don't, but I'm excited to get to know everybody.
What do you like about this offense in terms of how it fits your skill set?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of wide open opportunities. We get into a lot of play action and stuff like that, so I could stretch the field vertically. I feel like I could bring that into this offense, and just in any type of explosiveness, I'm all here for it.
What's been your impression of Sam Darnold from afar?
I haven't spent much time with him yet, but just going out the walkthrough, he seems like an energetic guy. Seems funny. Seems super relaxed. He has great control of the offense, and that's been on display throughout the season so far.
White out to white out. What do you anticipate it being like with JSN in the same meeting?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to team up with him. He's had a great year so far, a great career, and I'm just excited to share the same field as well as the rest of this offense to come together and win some games.
Chris Olave obviously had a relationship with him from college and such. Did you ask him about what to expect from Jackson coming to join him up here?
He said he's a super cool, chill dude. He just loves football and loves to play, loves to learn from others, and just loves to compete. And, you see that on every Sunday.
For Seahawks fans who didn't watch a lot of Saints football the last 4 years, what kind of player are the Seahawks getting?
A guy with a lot of energy, a guy who loves to win, a guy who loves to compete. I can make plays on any level, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win.
How do you look at your whole journey? I mean, playing at Weber State, not the most high-profile school in the world, probably,
right.
And then entering the league as an undrafted free agent and everything, and now you're, the 4 years in the NFL that you've had.
Right. It's been a great journey. I feel like I just continue to keep my head down and keep working, despite my not being coming out of college at top school. FCS guys kind of get overlooked, but I love being an example of you can make it from anywhere.
You've got an extensive track background, is that correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us more about that?
I come from a track family. Both my parents, mom and dad, and both sisters run track as well. So I was kind of born to run, I like to say. So, it's a big part of my game, and I try to focus on that as much as possible.
What were the events that you ran?
Sprints, 100, 200, 400, and relays.
Did you think about running in college?
No, I always knew I was going to be a football player. I just kind of used track to, help with football.
You were up here in Seattle not that long ago for a game. Didn't quite go the Saints' way.
Not at all.
What's it going to be like to be on the other side?
It's going to be good. It's going to be good, man. I'm excited. Seeing from afar, it looks like a fun team, and it looks like everybody's super close, and it shows why you guys have had the success so far this season.
What were your impressions of the Seahawks defense, studying them for a week of film and then also playing against them?
Yeah, no, they were tough. They fly around. They make plays. They turn the ball over. They have a lot of weapons and a lot of guys you got to focus on. So it makes it tough for opposing offenses.
When you didn't get drafted, what were your goals? What did you expect?
I knew I was going to get opportunity at some point. I just didn't know where. I just knew I had to be ready for the opportunity. And I feel like I did a good job of that. And now I'm here, and, I'm going to keep making it work.
What do you think, for you, what was the most important trait that overcame, okay, he wasn't drafted, or he was from Weber State, or what did you do? What was the success path for you?
I would say my mental toughness, not being drafted, you could kind of get down and, kind of question, yourself and, not know what's next. But as long as you stay prepared and stay ready for the opportunity, you never know what could happen. And that's exactly what happened in my situation. I was just ready for it. And I took every opportunity that came to me. And, now I'm here.
Speaking of mental toughness, just what did you learn about yourself and the league when you got the injury and then you got yourself back playing?
Sorry, you ask that one more time.
Yeah, mental toughness, you're talking about that. When you got the injury, what did you learn about yourself to get back and play?
Right. I learned that I could overcome anything. You know, injuries, they come in this league, but it's all about how you get yourself back. There's a lot of ups and downs with this game. It comes with it, and you just got to realize that, and you got to stay down and stay around people that love you and care about you, and you'll be just fine.
Early last season, what did you learn about how your speed compared with what Chris was bringing, and how defenses prepared for that, opened up stuff for Alvin in the run game?
Right, yeah, no, being able to stretch the field vertically, it opened up a ton. I feel like that's why we had so much success going on early on in last season. But yeah, just the ability for me and Chris to stretch the field vertically, it opened up so many different things. And yeah, no, that was kind of the name of our game on offense last year. So that's something that we focused on and something that we were able to kind of key point and, just execute it.
Is there a story behind the number? Why that's been your number?
Yeah, I've worn it all growing up. It was my dad's number. Wore it at Pop Warner, high school, college, so why not wear it in the NFL?
You can be a free agent at the end of the year. Is that anything on your mind now as you come here, or are you just kind of worry about that later?
No, I'm here to stay. I'm here to stay, man. So I'm excited. We can figure something out after the offseason, or after the season ends, but yeah.
So you're looking at this as your new home?
Long term, yeah. Yes, sir.
Let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Kraken are on tonight. They face the Sharks at Climate Pledge Arena. Puck drop at 7 p.m. on Kong and Amazon Prime. Coming up next, what we learned from Mike Macdonald and new Seahawk Rashid Shaheed.
Wyman and Bob.
Is this like a signature win?
Every afternoon at 2.
To try to get people to believe in this team. They just cruised the entire way.
While I think it's an impressive win, I wouldn't call it a signature win based on the opponent. To me, a signature win is beat the Rams. Beat a team, especially in your division, that's really good record-wise. That's what I would title a signature win. If they beat the Rams, that's the best opponent they've got in like the next 5 games.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
What's your holiday tradition? It's G. Scott here. For me, it's gathering with loved ones around a meal that brings joy. For many families, that tradition feels out of reach. Next time you shop at Safeway, please donate to Nourishing Neighbors. Your gift provides groceries to families across Washington, giving them access to nutritious food and the dignity to shop like the rest of us and choose what's meaningful for their holiday table. Visit nourishingneighbors.com and donate at your Safeway checkout. That's nourishingneighbors.com.
Stacy here. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, and when they resell it, they share half their profit with you. That's right. Sell your car to Wayscar Ford, Isuzu, and Auburn. They'll pay you today for your car, and once they resell it, they'll share half their profit with you. WayscarFord.com.
Hey, it's Tim Hunter, former Seattle radio goofball here, with 2 words that aren't funny. Prostate cancer. Get your annual checkup. Keep an eye on that PSA number. And if you hear those 2 words like I did, talk to the folks at Swedish Cyberknife. 5 treatments, minimally invasive and technologically advanced over the other options. If you're a friend, and I consider you one, I'd highly recommend Swedish Cyberknife. We are so lucky to have them right here in town. Do your research, but definitely visit swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
Dave Wyman here, and we've been fortunate to hear from 2 Swedish Cyberknife patients this year, Andy Ryder and Tim Hunter. Both heard about Cyberknife from our radio ads and completed successful treatment, raving about their experiences. Tim was impressed that treatment only took 5 days. Andy hosted a large international delegation the week after his treatment. If you, a friend, or a family member is diagnosed with prostate cancer, consider treatment with Swedish Cyberknife here in Seattle. Go to swedish.org/cyberknife prostate.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The home of the Seahawks, Seattle Sports. Touchdown! Seahawks! Ken Walker III! Get everything Seahawks at seattlesports.com.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? It's true. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural and it works. I was finding that my clothes didn't fit as well, so I jumped on the program. I lost 35 pounds in 60 days. It was very safe and a healthy plan.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We just heard from Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald and new Seahawks wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Let's start with the latest from Mike Macdonald. Of note, obviously some of those injury updates. They did basically a walkthrough today, so it's not a full practice. You're probably going to see Ernest Jones and Cooper Kupp listed as limited, though know that that's not being limited in a regular practice. Still, this is from Mike Macdonald via Michael Sean Dugar. I'm not going to measure how good the news is regarding Ernest Jones. He's working through it. He's going to be part of our walkthrough. We'll see how much he does. I'm sure he'll be listed as limited in some capacity. He said that knee injury that he has, while something that won't land him on IR, is also unrelated to a previous knee injury that he had. So it's something new. I guess good news that he's not on IR. I mean, do you guys ever sit out walkthroughs?
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
If you know that you're not going to play,
okay,
then you sit out the walkthrough, or at least you allow the person who's gonna play to actually walk through and get those reps.
Okay,
so that's a start, but it's Wednesday.
You know what I mean?
Like,
I'm gonna find a positive spin.
Holla at me Friday, Thursday.
Okay, so Ernest Jones and Cooper Kupp going to be part of today's walkthrough. One last one. He said IR is not a consideration for Jake Bobo or Tarik Young. Let's get to Rashid Shaheed, who is just the more interesting of the two. No offense to Mike Macdonald, but this is a brand new Seahawk we're talking about. I thought what was coolest was just his tone in general. I found him really likable. I even said to you when we were airing the interview, I said, yeah, he seems so likable. I really like hearing from this guy. But I also really like that he sounds excited to be here.
Yeah.
Like he was beaming. If you were watching the video, he was smiling.
Have you seen New Orleans play? I'll be excited too.
I even asked you, for anyone who's wondering, I said, do you think he's like happy to be here? Or like, that must be a whirlwind. Like, you were just in New Orleans yesterday and now you're in this new place. And you said, Stacy,
get up out of New Orleans. It's been fun. I think he had a decent year or two over there as far as team. But no, everyone plays to win. And I'm sure it's inconvenient. You're moving from New Orleans.
Yeah.
You got to find a new spot. I don't know if he has a significant other or not. Like, there is some change that is happening. But the biggest change, that is the best change, is that you hopped over to a team that is competing for a division title and a conference title.
Quick news item. I have a separate question for you about Shaheed. So if you want to react to this, please do. Otherwise, I have a separate question. But Adam Schefter says the Titans have been awarded safety Jarek Reed off waivers from the Seahawks. He was just waived to make some room for some other Seahawks roster moves. So just a heads up for everyone.
Like Jarek Reed, man. It was a good kid.
I know. Okay, so just a little news item there. But my follow-up for Shaheed. He was asked about having played under Clint Kubiak and said, hey, the playbook is pretty much the same. It shouldn't be hard to get up to speed. This feels like something that isn't being focused on as much, that kind of carryover with the familiarity with Kubiak. How much does that matter?
Oh, it matters a lot. It means there's less teaching going on. It means that, typically, say a guy like him comes over here, he were to go to a completely new offense. That means he's only going to play maybe the first week 40 to 50% of the snaps, because in the huddle, he's asking the quarterback, all right, what do I have here? If he doesn't know, of course, a lot of it's going to stick because he's a pro and he's going to practice throughout the week or have a few days to get ready for it. But with this, there's less teaching. Instead of being like, all right, well, on this play, we run our curl 14 back to 12, and this is the technique I want you to use. He already knows it. He's just verifying now, like, all right, this is what you want, right? All right, cool, let me run it like this. And now he's just getting on the same page with Sam Darnold and try to figure out his expectations. But because the playbook isn't just brand new, he's not learning a new language, it definitely accelerates the process.
So can we expect like I don't want to say a heavy workload, but like a quick acclimation?
Yeah, he'll play. He'll play on Sunday.
Yeah.
I think he'll get 20 snaps, 25 snaps maybe.
So a good amount for like, hey, you're new to this offense, but these concepts, this playbook is not necessarily new to you.
Yep.
I was also struck by the last question. This one was asked by Bob Condotta of the Seattle Times, who said, hey, you're technically going to be a free agent. They essentially gave up a fourth and a fifth to get you for half a season. And he said he wants to be here long term. He hopes that, that's a conversation to happen after the season, but like very much already first press conference with reporters. I hope I'm here for the long term.
Yeah, it's no player wants to be bouncing around like that. You want stability, especially when you're coming into a situation where you could see the future. You think he wasn't looking at SportsCenter today and the other day and figuring out what the situation is over here? He understands who this team is. He knows you got a young defense, one of the youngest defenses in the game right now. You have a young quarterback. This is something that you want to be a part of. If he were going to a team that were struggling and he was supposed to be the savior, then all right, it might be a bit different. Yeah. But because he's looking at Jason as hopefully a partner in crime, Horton as a partner in crime, and all the other pieces that they have, I'm like, who wouldn't want, if you were traded from another team, to here, in the situation you had in New Orleans, that caliber team to here, man, who wouldn't be excited to be a part of this?
Yeah, I think it was kind of cool too. I don't know that you have the answer to this. I was just thinking of it in real time. He was asked about the Seahawks defense, like, hey, you faced the Seahawks defense. What'd you see? Like, kind of cool to get an opponent preview. Do teams or defensive coordinators or offensive ever benefit from having players where it's like, you faced us, what did you see? What did you learn?
You get a different perspective. I think it more on the player to player. This is what I noticed.
Oh, okay.
This is a tendency that I see. Or when you do this is what I'm thinking. And we do that, our players do that within the team already, trying to make each other better. So now when you have a guy who's coming in from the outside who can give you a different perspective, benefits. And maybe a position coach here or there say, hey, man, what do you see here? Yeah. But it's not like they're bringing them in, sitting down with all the coaches and saying, all right, scout us. What do you see?
Okay. Last couple of minutes here, and I am shifting gears. I want to introduce something we talked a little bit about off air. Curtis, I'll probably bring you in for this one too, but a question for both of you. So I was looking up Luis Suarez for Inter Miami. Is
spitter,
suspended. He's spat. He is bitten. And most recently, he is kicked. So, like I mentioned during the break, I was like, man, dirty play. Like you already had a reputation as being like kind of a dirty player. It's only going to get worse. So in our last 2 minutes here, just for a light, fun conversation, who's the dirtiest player you can remember either playing with, Bump, or for either of you watching, where you were like, this guy notoriously a dirty player? Like, whose reputation as a dirty player precedes him?
Well, in the NFL, I would say Ndamukong Suh.
That's who I thought.
Romanowski.
Yeah, Bill Romanowski. He was a spitter.
Yeah, he was a spitter.
He was an eye poker, too.
Who am I thinking of for the Bengals? I'm blanking.
Vontez Burfict.
Thank you. Yes. Didn't you play him
I don't know.
in college?
Did I? What school did you go to?
ASU.
Probably.
You had to. I think you guys would have had some overlap.
Yeah. He didn't smack me, though.
What about in the NBA?
Bruce Bowen. John Stockton.
Yeah, people hated John Stockton.
Those two were notorious for like putting their legs underneath guys when they go up for a shot, and then you land on their foot and roll your ankle.
Why do some players that people think play dirty have okay reputations? Like Ndamukong Suh was someone who like respected, I guess, but like everyone thought he's a dirty player. Vontez Burfict, same thing.
He was good. He was elite.
Potential Hall of Famer.
Yeah. Someone said Manny Machado.
He's dirty?
I know he has like a reputation as being a little feisty.
Yeah.
I don't know about dirty. Who are dirty baseball players? Current.
Pete Rose, rest in peace.
I mean, not like right now.
Dirty. All the guys who use PEDs, that blood was dirty.
You were actually dirty.
I mean, Roger Clemens, especially that time when he threw the broken bat at Mike Piazza.
Yeah, hard to be a dirty baseball player. Like, you'll be asked to throw at someone.
You know,
Anybody
who went up against Jackie Robinson spikes up.
Yeah.
Dirty.
All right, get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
Brock and Salk.
Brock, what a win yesterday, man.
Morning 6 to 10.
That was almost a perfect victory.
Nobody plays a perfect game. Nobody has even a perfect half. That was a perfect half.
Yeah, it's perfect.
You're 16 for 60, almost 300 yards, 4 touchdowns. Like, what are we doing here? What a statement to why are they still not getting their respect and why aren't they getting the attention? Well, you do that, and now it's the headlines everywhere.
Brock and Salk. Morning 6 to 10. Only on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports YouTube page.
In the Pacific Northwest, choose Star Rentals for construction equipment. With 18 locations, they deliver superior service and unmatched follow-through. Visit starrentals.com. Star Rentals, the preferred supplier to the West's best contractors.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Lowe's knows pros want more. Join My Lowe's Pro Rewards for free to get $20 off your first qualifying purchase of $100 or more just for signing up. Plus, enjoy free standard shipping and more ways to save on your next job. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer valid for new members only. Not valid with any other discount. Free standard shipping not available in Alaska and Hawaii. Exclusions and more terms apply. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit Lowe's.com/pro-loyalty for details. Subject to change.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
With Progressive, you can reach customer service in the way that's easiest for you, by phone, app, or online. We know it would be great if we just magically appeared, but that's more of a genie thing, and we do insurance. But with us, you'd be like, well, it wasn't a genie, but it was great customer service, so that's nice. And sure, you probably would still like the whole 3 wishes thing, so if you meet a genie, you should definitely ask. But when you need us, contact Progressive by phone, app, or online. Just no genies. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Kinematics Marine Equipment reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at Kinematics Marine Equipment, your nationwide source for marine deck gear in their new location next to the Arlington Airport or online at kinematicsmarine.com.
This is the home of the Seahawks.
Gonna let one fly deep. Got a man out there. Ball is caught down at the 10-yard line, and it's JSN.
Seattle Sports.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Washington is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying 2 phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI agent can be set up in minutes to answer calls and questions 24/7, so you never miss a customer, lead, or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports. That's quo.com/sports to try Quo free. QUO.com/SPORTS.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know. What was or is the equivalent 6-7 phrase of your generation? Someone said theirs was "what's up" or "that's what she said." That's probably
Mike Jones.
Yeah.
Say that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, still people. It's millennials, but a generation of millennials. That if ever someone says Mike Jones or who, then you have to reply the opposite. Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah. To the windows.
So it's mostly just songs. I don't know about it like a phrase. I mean, that's what he said, she said was probably used also. I can't think of another one, but
there's like tight.
Yeah, but see, the problem with my Gen Z kings and queens is that they think 6-7 is halfway Gen Alpha, but that Gen Z thinks that they're like, first of all, everything to them is cringe. They're obsessed with things being cringeworthy. But also they think that they're inventing things that have like been around long before they were.
Not 6-7.
Yeah, 6-7's new and fresh. I have to give them that.
That's them.
I have to give them credit. Tip of the cap for that one. But I need to know, what's the first non-football thing Rashid should do in Seattle?
Go get some clothes for this cold that's coming. That's here and getting worse because it ain't New Orleans.
You're not in New Orleans.
It does rain a lot down there, though.
Yeah.
It'll get
So you
cold
might
like
have
that.
the
But
rain
like
gear.
muggy
Yeah, you
rain.
need that. Just get another layer to put underneath that rain gear.
What I need to know. Yesterday we were
Oh.
talking about
Wally got it.
what?
Up your button around the corner.
That's
That's for the guys. Up your button around the corner.
Just, sorry, I forget I'm not allowed into the boy jokes, but that's fine. Do you think cereal counts as soup?
No.
But
God,
think
no.
about it. Well,
No, you
I
have
think
to
soup
cook
has to be a
soup
broth,
anyway.
first of all.
Yeah.
Soup doesn't have to be hot per se, but it has to be a soup.
It doesn't have to be hot.
Well, like gazpacho,
Don't know what that is.
like a cold. You could have a colder soup.
Ceviche.
What's
not
the
really soup.
Russian soup that's red with
Borscht?
beets? Thank you.
That's not cold, though.
But it's not. Is it? I thought it was.
I don't think it's cold
Oh,
soup.
okay. My bad, Russians.
My bad, Mother Russia.
Sorry to my Russian brothers and sisters, and my apologies. My apologies. No, cereal is not soup. I think the
Nah.
foundation of soup is broth.
Yeah.
This is because the thing is, we were getting into that debate the other day about is mayonnaise a sauce. There was enough there to debate it. Cereal's not soup. It's just cereal.
It's cereal. It's the own thing.
866-979-3776. Oh, someone said, I know you are, but what am I?
Mm-hmm.
It's like when I was in elementary school.
Yeah.
Would you rather have a private jet or a private chef?
Jet. Well, no. Chef.
No. Yeah, the correct answer is a
Chef.
private
I
chef.
still got to pay for the gas and the pilot.
I don't have anywhere to go.
Actually, I do, man. I
For
switch
you,
it
it
up.
would be
I
great.
could use a jet for sure.
Okay, I could use a private chef. What I need to know, how can a team be ranked 30th in passing attempts and 29th in completions and 4th in passing yards per game?
You're making big plays.
Yeah, explosive pass
But
plays.
you're not throwing it a lot.
Yeah, that's exactly what the Seahawks are. I don't know about completions, but well, you're gonna have fewer completions if you throw it less often, unless you're
That
a
was completion
horrible quarterback.
percentage.
But yeah, they are 30th in total passing attempts because they're pretty 50-50. But they're incredibly efficient. They average the most yards per pass attempt, the most yards per pass completion. Yeah, they're just incredibly efficient when they do throw the ball. 866-979-3776. Someone let me know that borscht can be served hot or cold. Either is acceptable. I don't know if they're speaking on behalf of the Russians, but I'll take their word for it. What I need to know. What's the best activity with the power out? Sincerely, the Washington Coast.
Board games?
Yeah. Light a candle.
Boring.
Play some board games. Matt's reading a book.
Remember the last time the power went out?
I literally just said to Curtis, I'm reading a book.
Yeah. I mean, I guess reading, sure, fine. I very quickly, when the power goes out, it's the same thing as like forgetting your phone. You realize how many of your instant reactions are purely based around your phone or electricity or Wi-Fi.
Stacey, what was the last activity you did that didn't involve electricity?
Does walking somewhere count? Like to my
Sure,
car?
yeah.
Okay, I
Well,
walk
no,
to my
like
car.
going on a walk, yeah.
No, I don't do that. Grocery shopping. That's an activity. It's a physical activity.
Is
It's
it?
like walking.
It's like a necessity.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Yeah, that famous building without electricity, grocery stores.
I mean, I read. I know how to read, and I read, and I have books. I just don't. I read a lot on my phone. I read a lot of articles.
But the question was, what was the last activity?
No,
that
I'm
didn't
thinking.
involve
That's my
electricity?
answer. My answer would be I read a book. Actually, I read a book based in Ballard.
Really?
In Seattle. It's something with an octopus on the front of it.
Kraken and Ballard.
Incredibly Bright Creatures. That's what it was called.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. Are we beating the Spurs tonight? Spurs.
The Lakers play the Spurs.
I was like the Sharks.
No, we're not. Well,
You don't
is Luka
believe?
back? Luka's back. Yeah, we have a chance. Wemby had an off game his last game, so maybe that continues.
What I need to know, I had an actual football one. Before NFL games, do refs get to do practice and warm-up penalty calls? Much like the singer for the national anthem. Do you think they do practice flag throwing?
I'm sure at some point in their career they did.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to.
You got to feel the weight. How much wrist action do you need to toss it up there?
Yeah. Let's see what I need to know. Do y'all think that if the Mariners sign Josh Naylor, he should get at least $15 million a year for 3 to 5 years, since he got $10 million this year?
Sure.
I think he's looking for more than $20 million.
Yeah, and probably more than 3 years, I would imagine. I don't know. How old is he? 27? 28?
He'll be 29 next season.
Yeah. Oh, someone said your mom used to be the kind of go-to. But that's like a classic. Like every generation does that. There's no way Gen Z doesn't say that. You don't think so?
I don't think my mom says that or said that when she was growing up. She's I think she's Gen X.
Ooh, someone said the best activity for when the power is out is a Ouija board.
She's gonna get in trouble.
Have you ever used a Ouija board?
Probably.
If I brought a Ouija board in here, would you use it?
Yeah, I don't believe in that stuff. Not a Ouija board.
I scare myself a little bit.
Anything that's manufactured.
See, that's the thing. Here's me and my sister were talking about this. If someone got a $14.99 from Amazon Ouija board, I'd be like, that's not real. But if someone was Jumanji style, like, oh, this Ouija board, I found it at a garage sale. I asked them how much it was, and they said they didn't know where it came from, so I got to take it for free. I'm not touching that Ouija board. That's real. I'm not touching that.
It's got some miles on it.
No, a demon put that there for someone to take. This is the beginning of a horror movie. I'm not touching it. But from Amazon, where like the letters are a little crooked, yeah, that's fine. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
Wyman and Bob.
Sam Darnold has been sacked just 9 times this year.
Every afternoon at 2.
How much of that do you put on the pass protection he's getting versus how quickly he's getting rid of the ball?
The offensive line's doing their job, but I would say hitting a spot like 35, 40 yards downfield that's so tiny, I mean, that is really impressive. But the most rare talent to me is a guy who can move around the pocket and keep his eyes downfield.
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
It's comedian Tom Segura at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center with an encore performance Saturday night, November 29th.
I want to be that type of old. It's an old where you get yelled at for saying you want to be helpful. Like when an old person's like, I'll take out the trash. Someone's like, are you out of your mind? Your spinal snapped. Sit down.
Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Tom Segura's Come Together Tour, November 29th at Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
University Reprographics reminds listeners many uniformed personnel and healthcare providers will spend this holiday season working hard to keep us safe. These heroic men and women spend long hours away from home, protecting our freedom and providing critical medical care. Please thank them for their many sacrifices and putting their lives on the line for us every day. Happy holidays to you and yours from the entire team at University Reprographics. Family owned since 1973. Online at universityrepro.com.
After years of wear and tear, Joe had osteoarthritis in his wrists and shoulders.
I've pretty much worked out my whole life. I actually decided I'm going to train for a half Ironman triathlon.
The pain was interfering with every part of his life.
Basically, can't sleep, causing those kind of problems, very limited movement.
Joe had surgery, but it wasn't the fix he was looking for.
The doctor told me, he's like, hey, this is just going to be a partial fix. You're going to eventually need joint replacement.
That's when he decided to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
And they're just getting better. I can basically do full motion. I don't have really any pain.
What kinds of things are you able to do now that you weren't before?
I like to golf, and it definitely has made my golf game not as painful. And sleeping. I mean, I'm sleeping better because I don't have that aching at night going on and have to roll over.
So, are you recommending this to others?
Oh, everybody I talk to. Yeah, it's a no-brainer.
Before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online. Plus, well, you get incredible gaming speeds on multiple devices with no one battling for bandwidth. And for the next 5 years, all your devices will be working in perfect harmony. And you get our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6, 7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. All with the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Select plans only.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's